Tonight on the podcast, we're talking some geek news, including PlayStation and Ezra Miller, as well as the new Morbius movie and the Halo Episode 2. Hit that video, Max. It's Friday night in Phoenix, Arizona. You're watching the best damn podcast in the entire universe, the Absolute Geek Podcast. I am Lance.
I'm Max.
And we are missing our compadre Matt, who is having some technical difficulties. So we said, fuck it, and we're starting the show without him.
Well, I thought he was at the doctor for erectile dysfunction.
Oh, yeah, that too. His ED has gotten way out of control. But yeah, we're starting the show. He'll be here shortly as soon as he gets his. How hurtful did I say Matt's not here and our viewership dropped?
I know. I'm like seeing 4 people actively commenting, but then it shows 0 viewers right now. What the devil?
There he is.
Nope, there he's not.
Nope, there he was, and now he's gone. Sorry, guys. The tease. I'm just gonna keep my mouth shut next time until he actually comes on the show. Yeah, man. So, how was your week?
Oh, it's been good, man. I had a good week, and if you follow me on the Facebooks and the Instagrams, you'll know I'm starting my new job on Monday. So I was tying up.
Congratulations again.
Monday through Thursday, I was tying up tons of loose ends on my current, well, not anymore current job, but my old job. And so today I took the day off and hung out with my kid, which was good because we didn't have a babysitter for him today, and it turns out he's sick. So somebody would have had to stay home with him anyway.
Oh, yeah, that sucks. Runny nose or fever or what?
Fever and vomiting. He has.
Oh, he's sick.
I've been thrown up on about 4 or 5 times today.
That sucks.
Yeah, I was telling Lance before the show that I was on my 3rd shirt today. This is not my 4th because the shirt I was wearing earlier was like this really bright red shirt that I didn't care if it got throw up on it. And I'm like, no, I want to wear a nerd shirt today, even though you guys can't see it, but Star Wars. Anyway.
I'm sending Ish the link. He wants to cosplay as Max. Or as Matt, sorry.
Okay, but Ish, if you cosplay as Matt, you need to make sure all the lights are off behind you. And the camera has to be let's see here.
Pointing up.
It has to be like this. Yeah. This is how you cosplay as Matt. Let me turn all my lights off though. Okay. I can cosplay as Matt. All right, I got it.
Oh,
what's up,
funny.
guys? Absolute Geek Podcast tonight.
Let's see. Ish.
Oh man.
Ish, you have the link, my friend. My week was good, dude, except for the fact that I went to Best Buy today. I took 4 of my kids by myself, the 2 little girls and my boys, to Best Buy. That was a fucking nightmare, dude.
Sounds like it would be.
I bought my oldest son his first phone. Keep track of him. He thinks it's a birthday present. Me, it's a tracking chip. Yeah, he got an iPhone 12.
He's got a better iPhone than me.
It's a nice phone for a 9-year-old. Ish is here. Ish, what's up, buddy?
Always what's going on, guys?
Man. Can always count on you, buddy.
Good to see you, buddy.
Matt's like, why'd you guys start?
Oh, did he message you?
He Facebooked me. I'm like, well, people were saying where the hell we were. He'll be here. But yeah, man. Did you check out Morbius, Ish?
I did not. I got to be honest. I'm not sure if I will.
That's okay.
We'll get further into it.
I liked it more than even Sam did.
Ooh.
But it's still not.
Okay.
You're not missing anything.
I read his review on Facebook this morning.
Did he just eviscerate it?
I was like, I finally read a positive review of this movie. He's got to be the #1 fan of this movie at 2.5 out of 5 stars. What's going on, Matt?
What's up?
He's mad at me. Matt is.
I am mad at you. Yeah, you shouldn't have started the show. I had a whole thing planned for April Fools, and I told you not to start the show, but you just don't listen.
Dude,
Typical Lance,
it's now 8 o'clock.
listen. Hey,
Hey, we took a
somebody
vote.
rolled in,
Took a vote.
If you two rolled in before 7:28, we wouldn't have this problem. This is your fault. This isn't my fault. This is your fault.
I got all my in-laws sitting in
I'm not going to give you any excuses. I'm just late.
Hey. Your fault.
I got all my
Next gets a
in-laws.
pass. Your fault.
I was lucky enough to at least catch some of the basketball game. I guess not lucky because my team lost, but
It's all good, dude. Our team clinched number 1 in the league already.
Yeah.
With like 6 games left. At this point, we're just wanting them to win one more game so they break their record for most wins in a season.
Here's what I'll say, Ish. A little teaser. I liked Morbius better than both Venom movies. I hated the Venom movies.
Okay.
YouTube.
That's not really saying much, but
I can't wait to get into that because if you guys actually really like that movie,
No, that's not what I said. What I said is there are definitely worse movies than this one.
We'll get into it.
We will. It'll be fun. Oh yeah, you chug that
shit
drink.
Still floats to the top, brother.
You chug that drink.
My pink sugar drink.
Looks
Literally
disgusting.
tastes like syrup. Well, I walked in into the gas station. I'm like, I'm thirsty and I don't want water, so that was like the only
I
thing
just
that's
want
like
liquefied
within.
sugar.
Exactly. I want to test my glucose levels,
Your gluten levels.
my diabetes. Yeah, dude. It wasn't the worst thing I ever saw. I mean,
We'll get into it. We'll get into it.
How's
How's
just
everyone?
teasing Ish.
Ish, how's the shop this week, Ish? How's it going up there?
Shop is good. We had a crazy day today. Some guys came in and just took some big keys off our hands. We sold an ASM 129, Captain
I'm so
America
jealous.
117,
Really?
the Iron Fist first appearance of Sabretooth. Like these guys went nuts. So that was a good day. But it's
And you
always
just had
kind
a
of bittersweet because we're
Oh, what-
sad that we don't have an ASM 129 now. You know what I mean? So it's
Yeah.
like, oh, we got to get one back. That's and it gets harder and harder every time.
Was it your Facebook post I saw that you bought a ton of stuff?
We did.
Yeah,
We
you had
did.
the
So,
trunk filled up.
Several weeks ago we bought over 100 slabs, and then since then Bill bought 45 boxes and then another like 30 the other day. So it's just an insane amount of comics.
And all good ones too. You were saying in your post.
Yeah,
They're
the
all-
second that post was all good. The second batch we got not so good, but it's a mixed bag. But yeah, those 45 boxes were some really good stuff. So
That's good.
yeah, if you go into our back room, it's like there's so many boxes stacked up. You kind of have to like walk between them now. So it's gonna we have a lot of work cut out for us to go through them all and price.
Don't
them
say
out.
that too loud, or the fire marshal's gonna stop by. It's gonna shut you guys down.
Ish has got it
is
like that.
unsafe.
He's just gonna grease the palm and the fire marshal look the other way.
I just slip him a couple comics.
Yeah, it's just
Also,
like, how did this
And if I may,
9.6 Turtles 1 get here? It might
if I
find its
may
way home to you.
announce, a week from tomorrow, Saturday, April 9th, is Old Man Con 4, also known as Scottsdale Comic Con, also known as Scottsdale Original Art and Comic Book Show.
You said this weekend?
No, a week from tomorrow. So next
Also
Saturday.
known
tomorrow.
as the Wallet Eviscerator.
I had to miss that last year. I forget why, but we were planning on going, and I forget what happened. Something happened. I wasn't able to go.
This will be the fourth time we've hosted it now.
Last one was
Yeah,
in
so
November, right?
It was in November, yep.
Was
It
that
was
what it was? Was it around? It might have been around my anniversary. That's why I couldn't go.
Okay.
Yeah, but
There's going to be vendors from all over, Harley E's, Rare Comics, Graham Crackers Comics.
It's a big
Hoops
boys
Comics.
Comic-Con. If you're looking to throw around some money, that's where you want to go.
Trying to go buy
Yeah.
some keys. You need to fill runs from your Silver Age or Bronze Age collection, or just looking for some weird Golden Age stuff that nobody's ever heard of. This is definitely the place to go.
that's awesome. We went to
Town
one.
Scottsdale.
Matt, did you go with us to that one in Tucson that we had a lot of fun at?
No.
Who did I? Oh, it was Corbin.
No.
Corbin went crazy.
I try not to go to Tucson.
Well, I agree.
Hey, Tucson can be fun.
No, build a wall around Tucson.
No.
I
lived in Tucson for almost a decade.
I got in this huge argument with my dad. My dad's like, "Oh no, U of A's in the the finals or whatever. We need to root for U of A." And I said, I can't. I will never root for U of A. And he goes, "Why? It's Arizona." I go, "No, it's not."
I'm with your dad on this
Tucson.
No,
Oh.
no. You're either a Sun Devil fan or a U of A fan. You cannot root for both, no matter what.
Yeah, you can't.
No, you can't.
You cannot.
You can.
You cannot. You cannot. If you say that to a true Sun Devils fan, that you're going to root for U of A, they'll kick you in the nuts. You sell a Wildcats fan, that if you say you're a Wildcats fan and you're going to root for the Sun Devils, they will kick you in the nuts. It is.
You're too easy.
It
man.
is a top. No, I was reading. I was
No, he's
reading.
right.
I was reading a report a year ago that the U of A ASU rivalry is top 5 in the country out of all sports.
It's actually, I
rivalries.
believe, the oldest in the nation, the Territorial Cup, when they play.
Well,
It's a
The
big
oldest,
deal.
like rivalry cup in
I
college
agree
football.
with you, Lance. I just knew I could get a rise out of you very easily.
It's like
No, it's
Michigan,
crazy.
Michigan State. You can't be a fan of both. It's
Yeah.
one or the other.
It's nuts, dude. I don't know if you've ever been to like a duel in the desert and seen how. So I've been to one in Tucson and I've been to 2 in Tempe, and to see the amount of hatred spewing from both sides. The one in Tucson was a lot of fun. What they do is all the ASU people get together and they literally march down their what do you call it, the main.
The mall, campus mall.
Yeah, you march down holding these banners and stuff and just chanting ASU, ASU, and you get shit thrown at you. Like there is so much vitriol in that moment, dude. It is crazy. I have a picture. They handed every ASU fan these like yellow shirts. I have a picture of the side that we were sitting on, and it's a sea of red, and then one big yellow dot right in the middle, dude. It is so crazy how contrasting it is. It's nuts. But dude, I've never seen so much hatred in my life. Is it crunk? Leftover says.
It's definitely crunk leftover. It is so crunk with a little bit of torque thrown in there and a whole lot of yeet. That's what it is.
Yeet, yeet.
Is this Zoomer language going on over here?
The last duel in the desert I went to was between Hamilton and Aaron Burr. And Aaron Burr was a murderer. That's all I'm going to say.
Did you go see Hamilton? Is that what you're referring to, or
Fuck
were you
no.
alive in the
I was
beginning of
there,
our
man.
country?
Time travel, bro. Time travel. I was there. I lived it.
He time
I'm
traveled.
like, I'm
via his
trying
Disney
to
Plus
figure out
subscription.
where his joke is.
You're here. My joke's up here where the air is crisp.
Well, I feel bad that I ruined your April Fool's joke, Matt.
You did. You ruined it. You put it down.
Hey, don't yell at me.
Drove over it. Backed up.
We took a
went,
vote.
Drove forward again.
We
backed
took a
up.
vote. It was 2-0 because you weren't here. So we took a vote.
Yeah. Well,
I
when
don't
you
remember
show
voting
up-
on anything.
When our show starts at 7:30 and you show up at 7:28 yelling at your wife,
I
'cause
call
you can't
that-
find your hat.
I call that
That's-
early.
No, that's called. I've been sitting here since 7:00 waiting to go, putting finishing touches on, and you roll up and just decide, oh, I'm going to start the show because I'm Lance. I do whatever I want.
Hey, we moved it to 7:45. We passed that mark. People start getting angry. Ish
Oh,
says,
this
"I'll
is-
come on."
Chef's
what's
kiss,
funny?
your
It's
mom.
like-
Chef's kiss. Hamilton is garbage. I totally agree with you.
No, it is.
That is the most
overrated.
It's awful.
It's
And I
the
love
dumbest-
musicals.
And historically
dumbest
garbage too. Hamilton
That
was
too.
an asshole.
It's not. It's not even. It's not even.
To glorify
correct.
Hamilton is just crazy.
What made me late too was the dumbest shit. Like my mic wouldn't work. I could hear everything else, but nothing was coming out of my microphone. So I'm like, what the fuck? I'm throwing shit around. I'm unplugging shit, replugging it in. My power went out today because some idiot hit a power box.
Of course.
So my power went out, and somehow my
It was Will
computer
Smith.
decided. Yeah, it was Will Smith. Somehow my computer decides that when the power goes out, it's just gonna mute my microphone internally. So I had to like dig through the systems and find my mic and unmute it. It just driving me nuts. I hate technology sometimes. But
Matt, are you gonna tell us what
technology.
the prank would have been, or is this?
oh
you
no,
gonna save
now
it
it's
for
now
next
it's just
year?
ruined. Yeah.
Well, at least let us know what you were gonna do.
I was gonna say that this is our last show, and we're all leaving to go join MCM tomorrow night. We're all gonna go over and join the amazing channel.
You mean
You could have still made that announcement at the end of the show.
I know.
Yeah.
You could have pocketed it for a little later.
That's all right.
Are you
Where's
talking about
our
post
censor button for the live?
join MCM post flip side or
Yeah,
Where they are
the
now?
post?
right now.
Right, meow.
No, we're all switching over to the sealed VHS spec show.
Hell yeah, man!
That's
I
where
got
it's
my
at.
Space Jam on VHS ready to go, ready to be shipped out.
Can you believe like that's an actual thing?
Yeah,
People
It's the craziest thing.
I went into a record store. This was over by Drawn to Comics. There's like a record toy store there. They had a whole room filled with tape cassettes, like audio tape cassettes, not VHS tapes. And this guy's like, "Oh yeah, these are all the rage." And I was like, "That is the worst way to listen to music. At least digitally, it sounds good, and on records, you get the pop and the warmth and the tone. Audio cassettes sound like shit. Why would anybody prefer that way to listen to music? You might as well just go out in your backyard and just smack two rocks together, because that's about the same amount of audio, pleasure you're going to get.
Well, that's how I feel
just don't
about a
get
lot
it.
of things. People that want to watch an old movie on their VHS tape instead of like in the 4K disc version that they have now. I'm just like, why wouldn't I watch it in the better version?
Now-
Like the only time I can agree with it, the only time I can understand more is like if the 4K version or the Blu-ray version or whatever, like they did a new color grading on it or they changed something, or like I understand Star Wars fans that really want to watch the original theatrical release. Like I get that, that's different. But if it's literally the same, but it just looks better, why wouldn't you want to watch the one that looks better?
Yeah. Sticks, I agree. Analog is king, right? Except when you're talking about audio cassettes. If you want to go listen to analog, listen to a vinyl like a real man.
Yeah, so
Don't
that's right.
audio cassettes are garbage, absolute shit. And they get broken easily. Like records get scratched easily, but nothing sounds anywhere near the warmth and tone you get from a record or a vinyl.
One with cassettes and VHS tapes, there's deterioration.
Same technology.
They're lossy.
Yeah.
The data actually drops off eventually. So imagine you spend all this money on a collectible Disney sealed VHS, and one day you're like, "Fuck it, I'm going to crack it open." You pop it in, and there's nothing on there.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Is it demagnetized? Like that's what a crazy thing to collect.
Completely agree.
listen, there's nothing.
That
as
being
cool
said, I have
as-
stacks of VHS tapes in my walk-in closet, but
I do too.
just because.
There's nothing as cool as being able to take your
Just from my
pencil and stick it in the
childhood, my
cassette.
youth, and I've got some like cool James Bond collectible ones you can't find anywhere. But no, who's gonna buy them from me?
Nothing beats sticking your pencil in your cassette to rewind it faster.
Oh man, I remember those days. I remember
Dude,
those.
In high school, there used to be, I think it was every Tuesday night, they had this show on I can't remember it was The Edge. I don't remember the call numbers now, but it was called Ska Punk. It was 2 hours every Tuesday or Wednesday night or something like that. And me and my buddy
Oh,
would
dude,
sit
I
there.
loved that show.
Me
I
and
would
my
listen
buddy
to
would
that.
sit there with our tape player and press record at the start of the song,
Dude.
stop recording, and then we would listen to that tape for the rest of the week. And then the next Ska Punk would come on, and we would overwrite it and record all the new songs and listen to that for a week. And we did this for like 2 years. Craven Moorhead on The Edge with Ska Punk show.
I wasn't
He
quite
was
as
on-
intense as you, but I did something similar. I would come on and record it VHS or on the cassette and listen back to it. But I had
I
multiple.
believe Craven Moorhead's on KUPD now.
Yeah,
We're
he's
doing the
doing
same show.
Go Punk Yourself or
Yeah, it's the same. It's essentially the same show.
yeah. But now that music is all available on like Apple Music or Spotify or stuff. So the same
Or
before
compact
you
disc.
couldn't get it. Yeah, before you couldn't get it. Like you got it from the radio. There was no Napster yet. There was no LimeWire or anything, so you couldn't even rip half this stuff. And when Napster did finally come out, it was all the popular shit. So like all the underground shit that Scott Punk was coming out with, like you could not find it anywhere unless you went to like a record store in like Chicago. Like that's the only place you could find it. So it's a beautiful dick castle.
Kids
Yeah,
these
that's
days,
the
they
Little
don't
Mermaid.
know.
I have that VHS in my garage with the dick castle on it. I think that's where
Think
what
of
I was
like you went
told
to
is
see a
that one's worth
movie.
money.
If you went to see a movie in the 1950s, you went and saw it in the theater, and it was like, oh, this is the greatest movie I ever saw. You'd never see that movie again.
Why?
To your point being that today we can access songs, movies, everything. Back in the day,
Yeah.
shit was like one and done.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, it used to be like a video cassette player. Those came out in like what, the 60s, the 70s or something like that. Like when they were.
Well, it really went
but
commercial.
it was
like
only the
early
upper
80s, but yeah.
with Blockbuster, right? Like that's around the time that it really started getting big, and only the upper echelon of people, like rich people, had these things.
Oh, it's the same way with like color TV. Yeah. That's how you knew your family was wealthy, if you owned a color TV.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's funny.
I mean, when my mom brought home a Betamax player once, it was like the biggest day of my life. You got a fucking
listen. We all know that the best way to
I
consume
won the
media is
lottery.
Laserdisc, right? Laserdisc is the best way to consume media. There's no other way to do it.
Well,
Except when
my
you have to
wife
flip the disc during the movie.
That's
Hey,
the extended
That's the big
edition to the
flaw.
First world
If you watch
problems,
the
Vic.
Star Wars, you watch the Star Wars trilogy on Laserdisc, you have to flip discs 12 times.
Hey, first world problems here, right? That's all I want to say. You're consuming media the best way it should be.
Well, it's just funny how these things work, you know. Like my wife's been rewatching Friends lately, and I was walking in the room, and it was there's a scene where Jon Favreau is actually in the show, and he's a super rich guy, and they walk into his apartment, and he's got all these video conferencing devices, and he has a system he can speak to turn on the lights and turn the TV on and things like that. And I'm like, that's like lower middle class can all afford that now.
Yeah,
It's just
this guy right here.
Yeah, I've got
Right here.
a device
at
in my
thrift
room.
store. I got this
Yeah.
at a thrift store for $30.
Yeah, it's just funny how like what used to be a millionaire's luxury is now an everyman's.
Do you remember in that episode
cool.
where like the wall opens up and like his mother's calling from a video phone? It's like this huge TV, and it looks straight from Austin Powers, dude. Like the wall opens up and there's like a computer station, and the mom calls in with a video conferencing phone, and it was like this huge futuristic thing.
Yeah.
Now we got this shit.
Literally, yeah.
Yeah, you can
We
do
have
stupid shit like this.
supercomputers in our
Alexa, turn my lights blue.
Oh,
It's ridiculous.
Nice.
And I paid $20 for this stupid little dot. Alexa, turn my lights purple. Ooh.
I disabled my lamp because every time I try to turn
Do
on,
you have like Bluetooth
Oh, man.
lamps or something? How does that work?
I love
Yeah.
lamp.
I love lamp. Yep.
see, I disabled this guy from the Alexa because every time I walked in my office, I said turn on the lights, it would start flashing at me. So I got to do it from my phone.
Yeah, they're
we
like
have an
wired-
Alexa in the shop, and just out of nowhere, she'll just like bust into like customer conversations and stuff. It's pretty hilarious.
like your mom said, Skynet.
Thank goodness I'm wearing headphones right now because that shit be going crazy if I said it too much. Like sometimes you watch a commercial and one of those commercials come on and this thing starts reacting to the commercial, and dude, if somebody was smart at Amazon, they'd have those commercials, it would activate this thing and make it do something to interact with the commercial.
That would be cool.
They already have that. The NFL tries to get you with it all the time. Where it's like, hey Alexa, or hey Siri, what are some of these sports scores? And then your shit goes off and you're like, God damn it.
No, but like something like it says that on the TV, and then they use digital remarketing, and then from the TV you watching that commercial, now Alexa would hear it. Damn it. Shut up.
Yeah, Alexa just starts ordering shit for you.
Yeah.
So you watch a commercial, and all of a sudden, Alexa's like, "I just ordered you a Ford F-150."
Or you log into your Amazon and you see like a something in your checkout already. Like you don't even have to search for it. Like Like, because the commercial came on, it's like, here's John Deere tractors, and next thing you see is a John Deere T-shirt on your freaking cart on Amazon.
That's just how the internet works. Like, without dredging up things. Like Kyle was on the show last week. You guys talked about Manscaped, and he was talking about it and Googling it. And then I saw him like either posting or he mentioned something about how, girl, now I'm getting ads for Manscaped all over my feed. That's how the internet works.
That's
man.
Digital remarketing.
Yeah,
that is what I'm going to school to learn.
Yeah, if I literally anything right now, if I go like type in about a big product, if I start scrolling on Facebook or YouTube or whatever, there the ads are. That's just
like
how
if you
it
call
works.
your friend a dildo and Alexa's like, the penetrator has been
like,
added to your shopping cart
all the time.
Yeah.
Well, dude, when the Xbox One came out, there was the voice assistant with the Kinect, and it was kind of earlier technology that actually ended up being a good idea. Yeah, but basically people would like do videos where they would say Xbox on, Xbox off, and like it would turn people's Xboxes off in the middle of their like play session.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. I wish they had some of this shit when I was a kid, man. I would have played so many pranks on my brother. He was addicted to Xbox, just walking in the room, Xbox off.
Well, and like the people that, that's how you get back at the guy who's always playing with like their Kinect as their mic, and there's sounds coming through the speakers, and you can hear every freaking bullet coming out of the shooter, and they're annoying. That's how you get back at them. All right, well, if you can hear everything, Xbox off, and then boom, it goes through their TV speakers and turns their Xbox off. But then you screw yourself over because they're on your team.
Yeah.
But it's funny still. All right, I think Matt was about to actually get us into the show. I think we were going to talk about slapping people in the face or something.
Yeah.
There's been some big story about this.
Get into geek news. Our lead-off story tonight, geek news, is the slap heard around the world.
The slap.
Will Smith walking on stage at the Oscars and literally bitch slapping Chris Rock.
Can we rename it Cuck Slap?
Yes, I think it is. I think Cuck Slap is probably.
Let's just call it the Cuck Slap from now on. Let's mine that right now.
Yeah.
Your mom's in the background.
It's true though, because you're all right with sitting there and having your son's friends bang the shit out of your wife, but you're not okay with someone making a G.I. Jane joke. All right, yeah, she's got alopecia. That's too bad. That sucks. But, literally.
You know what? I'm sorry. 3 of the 4 of us right here, do we get insulted for our bald heads? I'm wearing a hat, but.
I'm self-conscious about it, but I don't get insulted. No, I'm not going to go up and slap somebody.
Well,
I feel like alopecia, it's like her health is not in danger. It's not like a light. She's fucking
and she still has a full head of hair. She still
has
has
all
hair.
Go balds, like big fucking deal.
Yeah, men have been dealing with it forever.
So
I know for women, all right, it
that's
sucks to be bald because their hair is a big thing, but it's still, people are like, it's a medical condition. It's not a medical condition. It's like almost a cosmetic thing.
So women, and it's socially acceptable for women. I see it all the time, especially black women, to wear wigs. I see it all the time. Tiffany Haddish wears wigs all the time. She wears
wigs often too.
Yeah.
You better hope Will doesn't hear this podcast, man. You are.
I walk in wearing a wig. You guys would not let me live it down ever. No, but the arrogance to think that Chris Rock even knew that you think you are the center of everybody's universe, that you just assume that Chris Rock
or something like
that. It's not like he said, hey, she's got alopecia. When's that G.I. Jane audition? Like, no, that's not what happened. So to think that Chris Rock even knew, so the audacity to not just assume positive intent and then win Best Actor and give that hypocritical speech at the end about how
I'm going to be the vessel for love.
He's the vessel for love, but you're not assuming positive intent, and you get mad over something. It's not like he went up there and called her a bitch or anything like that.
So
you got upset.
I was about to ask you guys. I wanted to know your level of conspiracy theorist.
Yeah.
Was it real? Was it staged?
It's totally real.
I agree.
I don't know, dude. As someone who's been a wrestling fan for 20 plus years, I can tell a fake wrestling slap when I see one.
Well, did you hear today?
And yeah,
I know, he resigned.
But,
he resigned from the thing, and they're talking about taking his Oscar away.
Yeah, but dude, if you watch it back, Chris Rock, like, he braces for it. He leans into it. I saw footage where it was slowed down and his head is moving to the side before Will Smith even actually makes contact with him.
Who's QAnon now?
I think it was totally real because Chris Rock he spoke on it briefly at his comedy show a few days later, and I think it was totally real. If you see someone walking up to you after you just cracked a joke about their wife on live national television, he walking up to you, he probably looked pissed.
He laughs.
I would
about
brace
it,
myself. Yeah,
he laughs about the joke first, and then his wife's like,
Yeah, the timing of that, like literally, it's like seconds later, he goes from laughing to whatever it was. Oh shit, I got to do this now.
Yeah.
It's not even like he sat there and stewed and was like, fuck that. It was literally from laughing to, I got to slap you. Very weird.
By the way, I saw King Richard. Great movie. Great movie. He did a great job. Andrew Garfield in Tick Tick Boom was light years beyond that performance. I think there's a conspiracy against Andrew Garfield.
No, I'm a conspiracy theorist when it comes to the Oscars, that I think that it's kind of just like your time to win. No matter what movie you do, it's your time to win. Like
Often
Leonardo,
that's the case, yeah.
Leonardo DiCaprio was passed over for way better roles than what he won his Oscar for.
Which one did he win for? The Revenant.
It was Revenant, wasn't it? Yeah.
Great movie.
Great in that.
Great movie,
Yeah.
but I could name 5 other movies
But
that he
the
was
only
even
thing
better
that's
in.
memorable about that movie is that he gets raped by a bear. Yeah,
That's one of
and
my
so-
favorite movies, actually.
Or Scorsese.
Yeah.
Scorsese didn't
That's
win
a
for
cool
many, many years too, right?
Yeah, and so Will Smith's been nominated. He's had way better movies than this that he should have won for, and he never did. And then it was just like it's his time.
So
Is this his first time?
Scorsese won
Yeah,
for
this is his first win.
Oh wow, because yeah,
He's a
like
part of-
what's the one with his
What
son
would you
that
have
he did
given
back
Will
in, like,
Smith an Oscar for before this?
Pursuit of Happiness.
That's the one I was trying to say. Or 7 Pounds. That one was really good too.
that one. No, I don't know about that one.
Because
It was a good movie, but I don't know if he would. If
To be fair,
He
we
was
have
a
to go back
contender
and
for
look
that
at,
one.
what was the field
Yeah, what
that
else?
year too.
Yeah.
Well, and
Pursuit
he
of
tried to
Happiness,
get it
who-
with that
who did
movie.
that?
I think he was nominated for it with Concussion, and that movie was made
see
to win
that one.
Oscars. And
That's where a lot of this started. Was he wasn't nominated for Concussion? Jada Pinkett Smith said they're boycotting the Oscars specifically for that reason because he wasn't nominated, which
Oh my
kicked off
gosh.
the whole Oscars so white hashtag.
Talk about
campaign.
entitlement.
And then that's the year Chris Rock hosted, and he made some jokes about them back then. And he joked about who cares about Jada Smith? She's just a TV person. Why is she even weighing in on movie stuff? And then he made the crack that, it's crazy Will Smith wasn't nominated for Concussion. It's also crazy that he made $20 million for Wild Wild West. And apparently, when he said that comment, I guess like the rumor was that when that went off and they were watching it at home, Jada fucking went off and like threw shit at the TV. And so this might be something that's been simmering between them, specifically over the Oscars for quite a while.
I think Leonardo DiCaprio should have rushed Ricky Gervais when he talked about how his date was too old for him. You know,
Well, they made that joke.
Ricky
also this
Gervais
year.
made way
meaner
more-
jokes.
Yes.
He insulted everybody in the room.
yeah, he basically
So
called all
bad.
of
He called everyone a bunch of,
all
like-
of pedophiles.
Yeah.
Yeah, he called everyone in Hollywood pedos.
And then someone asked him what he would have done this year, and he like did a Twitter post about it. It's hilarious. Dude, Ricky Gervais is so funny.
Dude, and he hosted the Oscars 3 times. So he
Golden
got
Globes.
3 opportunities.
Is it Golden Globes? Okay, well I'm getting
No,
to
but he's done the
Totally
Oscars,
different
hasn't
time,
he?
too. No,
He's never done the
he's
Oscars?
never done the Oscars.
I get them
Wow.
mixed up because I don't care, but Ricky Gervais is so funny.
But he got to
The
do it
host this
3
year- One of the
times.
hosts this year made a crack that Leonardo DiCaprio is so into the environment and stuff because he wants like a clean planet for his future girlfriends.
By the way, Amy Schumer, she said way worse things than Chris Rock did. Like Kirsten Dunst, she blows past Kirsten Dunst, calls her like a seat filler, shoves her
Yeah.
off screen to talk to Jesse Plemons, and Jesse's like, dude, that, and he looked pissed. Jesse did. He's like, dude, that's my wife. Like, she totally like she's so gross, dude. Amy Schumer, just
Was
not
she
in
also at the
appearance, just like
Oscars?
her personality. She was one of
She
the
was very
hosts. They had
cringe.
3 hosts.
She was
I did.
total cringe.
Several
watch
times. Wanda Sykes was fine, and what's her name? The other
Regina King. She played her shtick. The entire thing was she's like thirsty for sex with Hollywood dudes, specifically Bradley Cooper. Like that was her whole thing. Like, I'm gonna be a slut tonight.
And she was still better than Amy Schumer. Amy Schumer got up. I can't stand her. They did a roast of Charlie Sheen. I don't know if you guys have ever seen this. And she came up, and Steve-O was there, and it was a couple weeks after Ryan Dunn died. And she said at this roast, it sucks. I'm sorry about Ryan Dunn, but it should have been you, to Steve-O on television. And Steve-O looked pissed. Mike Tyson goes, "Fuck you, Amy." Like, he was in the group of people making jokes or whatever. Fuck you. Like, she's been like this forever, just insulting people. I don't understand why she's famous.
I think this is fake because it did exactly what they wanted to do. Nobody was watching the Oscars before this. Nobody cared.
It's still the second lowest rated Oscars in history.
But this happens and it blows up social media to the point where
big time.
they muted it here, but the Japanese live telecast didn't get muted. So it put a lot of social media exploded. And I think what happened is I think it got out of hand and they couldn't save face and come out quick enough saying, oh, it was staged before Hollywood. It was all weighing in. Like, people were weighing in at the end of the night. Jim Carrey took shots at the whole Hollywood.
Jim Carrey seemed genuine in that whole
agree.
that whole he was
I'm just
to?
saying,
Drew Barrymore or something like that. He was
but he talked about the entitlement of Hollywood and how
he
it's
thought
all
it was
changed
psychotic.
and
that they applauded it.
Now it's to the point where they didn't remove Will Smith. They didn't arrest him. You assaulted somebody on stage. And LAPD is oh, well, we're aware of it, but we're looking into it. But Chris Rock
they didn't
doesn't
arrest because Chris
charges.
Rock didn't press charges.
Yeah, but they're saying that it didn't come out until Wednesday that the Academy said, oh, well, we tried to get Will Smith to leave, but he said he wasn't going to leave.
But the Chris Rock not pressing charges came out within hours.
They didn't even tell Will Smith to leave. They told his publicist, and the publicist was just no. And then that was it. So they didn't even have the balls to actually go up to him and be like, you got to go.
Yeah.
I don't know. All I knew
still
about
think
the
Andrew
Oscars,
Garfield should have won.
All I knew about the Oscars this year was this, and then that Dune won 4 of the awards.
Six. Dune was the massive winner of the night.
Yeah.
Next movie that won anything more was 2 Oscars. 2 movies won 2 Oscars.
So Dune won.
It was Coda. Coda won 4, I think.
I
want to see Coda. I've been wanting to watch.
And
it.
their best
Coda
picture
only
was
won?
definitely purchased. That was bought
so?
by Apple TV. Absolutely. It's the first streaming movie ever to win, and it's on the one platform.
Have you seen it?
Desperate for subscribers. I have not.
Seen
it's
it?
Probably a very good film. I'm not.
It is.
Probably a very good film.
It is a spectacular film.
But that came out of nowhere, and I feel like that was a purchased win.
But
I don't know.
Dune.
But Dune won all best.
As
best
far
looking,
as special
best sounding,
effect,
best this.
I don't
sound
think
design,
best
best
movie.
cinematography, best. I don't think Dune
Best
should have won Best
editing.
Picture, but it was a very good movie, and I'm glad that it
Well,
won.
when
didn't
you
win
invest
Best
in
Picture.
every category,
No, it didn't.
how do you not win? How are you not the best picture? If you're the best, this, and this.
That's a good
then you're the
point.
best. Same thing giving Best Director to a movie that didn't win any other award just shows that
It won
that
best.
wasn't even a vote. That was decided.
It won best special effects, right?
Yes.
And I don't think it should have, because most of the movie, it beat
two
out
Marvel
Spider-Man.
You don't think it should
Spider-Man and Shang-Chi.
No, dude, Dune had the amazing special.
It
effects.
only had the armor, it had the sandworms, and
which
and
looked
the scene.
real.
No, I don't think it should.
The spaceships, dude, that movie,
Yeah.
Over
That was
Spider-Man.
well-deserved.
incredible.
Over Spider-Man.
Yes,
No.
I loved Spider-Man. I saw Spider-Man like 5 times in theaters. But it doesn't deserve.
Dune is an excellent movie. But only 30% of that movie is special effects. The entire Spider-Man movie is special effects.
Yeah, and a lot of them.
I don't think
not a lot of them.
Dune deserved anything. That movie was boring as shit.
I loved that movie.
It was the most beautiful boring movie you've ever seen.
Can I just say right here online, the Marvel versus DC thing needs, like, all these fanboys that go out and actively downvote Marvel movies, or Marvel fanboys that downvote DC movies. Explain to me how Army of the Dead wins fan film of the
dumbest
year.
All those lists were so weird. That the Flash from Justice League was the most.
It was DC fanboys.
Oh my god!
They rallied against Spider-Man.
What was what did the Flash win?
Justice League won
most cheered moment.
Yes,
most cheer-worthy moment.
No,
none of those even qualified.
I'm sorry. I loved Zack Snyder's Justice League, but no, there's no moment in Zack Snyder's Justice League that is as cheer-worthy as Andrew Garfield or Tobey Maguire appearing on screen. Like, no, there's just not. There's not.
I agree with Sam. Dune is boring.
I respectfully disagree. What's our next topic? We're 40 minutes in on the first topic.
Boring.
Boring.
Did we talk about how he resigned from the motion picture film?
Yeah, but what does that really mean? Like, honestly,
he just can't.
It means he can't be nominated again or vote, right?
No, he can be nominated. He can vote, and he can't go to these exclusive parties.
So it means jack shit. It means nothing.
Yeah, he did that. The big thing is not getting kicked out of the union, SAG-AFTRA. That's the career ruining thing. So I think by quitting the academy, so at least he's not expelled, so he doesn't get on the list. He's like,
but they're meeting April 15th. They're meeting April 15th to still decide if he's going to be expelled
from the academy. Well, that doesn't matter anymore if he resigned. It's a moot point.
No, but if you resign, you can come back.
That's true.
They expel you, you can't come back. And then a whole bunch of other things happen, and they'll take his Oscar. That's why I was wondering, like, if they expel him and they take his Oscar, does that mean he'll never?
They're not
going to
take his Oscar. They're not going to.
Yeah, because then you have to like give it to someone else.
Then they would have to go take every single one from Harvey Weinstein, and there'd be like so much fucking blowback if they took his Oscar. That's not going to happen.
I don't think it was deserved.
And then he should sell it before they can take it and just make loads of money.
That it's not going to happen. His Oscar is not going anywhere. He can save face and resign from the academy and it not being jack shit. And again, like I said, there's no if any one of us were in a comedy club and a comedian made a joke about your wife and you walked up on stage and smacked the shit out of him, you're going to jail.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's happened before. There's plenty on YouTube. There's
course.
Plenty of stand-up comedians getting assaulted on stage.
Yeah, you're going to jail, and but because you're in a group of power and society and money that shit doesn't.
Or is it because the comedian would press charges, and in this case, he's not?
Well,
he still should have been escorted out, regardless.
Do you think he went backstage with like not pressing charges right off the bat? Like
it was announced like 2 or 3 hours after the show.
Yeah, after the show, but they're trying. They didn't try to pull him out. They didn't.
He shouldn't have
let him have a speech. Like honestly, if I was Chris Rock, that's what I'm saying. If that thing's real and I'm Chris Rock, when he's up there giving his speech, I'm walking out there and I'm smacking him right back in the fucking mouth. He's got his spotlight. And
he
he's
got a
bragging
standing
about
ovation instead.
Yeah, you walk out there and you jack slap him back in his mouth and you walk off. Like at the party, a party later on, Cedric the Entertainer's on a mic and he says, you know, if I crack a joke at you and you walk up here and slap me, I'm slapping your ass back.
Yeah, but see that shows you that I think the way Chris Rock handled the situation is probably the most mature thing he could do. Because you're on national television, you go back up to super professional. You go back up to Will Smith, you slap him in the face, and you cause a brawl on national television between Will Smith and Chris Rock. It would be awesome, but it's not. It's not the
WrestleMania at the Oscars.
It's not the adult thing to do. I think Chris Rock handled himself. WWE. I think Chris Rock handled himself. Yeah, I think Chris Rock handled himself very professionally.
He did.
No,
You
he
could
did.
see he was
Yes,
kind of
he
dazed and
definitely did.
confused for a couple seconds, probably waiting for them to maybe say something to him, like, "Hey, we're cutting a commercial," and then he realized, "Nope, got to continue," and he just picked up and
Yeah, well, it shows you that.
True
I mean, he's a
professional, yeah.
professional comedian. I mean, he deals with hecklers all the time, and this is just an extreme version of a heckler, right? So, I mean, he's kind of trained to overcome those things.
I think this is a little bit more than an extreme version of a heckler, my man.
No, yeah. I obviously I'm making light of it, but what I'm saying is that his training to overcome hecklers, his quick feet, his quick wit, is how he was able to handle this so professionally. It just kind of led up to this.
He's used to it.
I'm just saying, like, Ish made Lou the joke, like, it's known that his wife cucks him and he allows his wife to bang other women or other men, and this is what you decide to get mad about.
What really pisses me off is that just a few months ago he was on, I'm not sure what radio station it was on, talking about his PTSD from he was mugged several times in New York. Chris Rock. He was mugged several times. He has PTSD about this. Like he has deep emotional issues from these muggings, and
that's because everybody hates Chris.
But what I'm saying is, then you go up and slap this man who has PTSD of getting beaten up. Like, I think that's even more egregious than just slapping somebody. Like the emotional issues from this that you would have caused this person. You know what I'm saying? That you don't know. People just need to lead through life assuming positive intent. Like that's what's.
I think Sam just hit it right there. Will Smith lashing out is a sign of a man losing his grip on his masculinity.
Yeah, he is self-conscious about it, right?
So from one man losing his grip on masculinity to another, Ezra Miller,
this guy,
Flash star,
dude. This is the new
karaoke rage.
Nick Nolte. This is the new Nick Nolte mugshot.
This dude, like, yeah, you're gonna see this dude's. I wouldn't be surprised if you see this dude's mugshot on T-shirts at San Diego Comic-Con.
Dude, Nick Nolte's mugshot was what, 25 years ago, and you still see it in memes and stuff like that. Like, it's still a thing. It's 25 years old. Or Mel Gibson's mugshot. It's gonna go down in history, man.
But Ezra Miller, in case you didn't know, was arrested in Hawaii after a couple has put a restraining order on him for supposedly, allegedly threatening to kill them. According to the documentation, Miller allegedly burst into the couple's bedroom and was quoted as saying, "I'll burn you and your slut wife," and stealing the couple's wallets, social security cards, passports, driver's license, bank cards, and all their personal belongings. And he was apparently staying with this couple in Hawaii.
That is nuts.
Oh, he knew who these people were?
It was a brawl at a bar that
that too.
like people singing karaoke.
That sounds like meth.
And he like knocked like the microphone out of their hands.
Yeah, that too. So he's been.
So this all the same night.
Yeah, he's had a hell of a time in Hawaii. He went from, I think it was like a year ago, he was in the news for threatening and choking a woman out in Europe.
For smacking some chick around.
Yeah, saying, "You want to fight? Come on, you want to fight?" And like choking her out. And this dude, man, like, I love his performance in person being a wallflower, and I think he's a good actor, but the dude's losing grip on reality, I think.
Yep.
Yeah.
To be honest, I'm shocked that Warner Brothers stayed with him as the Flash, especially after the video of him and choking the girl out. I felt like I'm like, oh, this dude's done. There's no way he can continue as a superhero.
Warner Brothers has a history of not firing people that they should fire.
Yeah, and then they fire like Johnny Depp.
Did they fire Johnny Depp?
Yeah, dude, from the Fantastic Beasts movies.
Yes, he did.
For hearsay, that turns out he was the one that was being
for the
accused.
Amber Heard
stuff. Yet she's still an Aquaman.
Yep. Although I got to be honest, Mads Mikkelsen I think is going to be better than Johnny Depp was, so I'm kind of okay with it. But not at the same time, because he shouldn't have been fired. Yeah, dude. Ezra Miller he's got problems. He needs some help.
Yes, he does.
I have a feeling it's probably a drug issue, or that drugs are at least involved.
I'd love to get Ezra on the show. He'd probably threaten to kill us all.
That'd be awesome.
While he's singing Hotel California by the Eagles.
Yeah, well, it's just crazy. Like he's stealing their passports and their money. I'm like, dude, you should be loaded. You don't need to steal from anybody.
That's why it
Like,
sounds like meth or something. It sounds like
something's going on. Like
He needs to host the Oscars next year.
he needs to be the referee.
He'd probably still be better than Amy Schumer.
He needs to be the referee of the cage match between Chris Rock and Will Smith.
Max says, "Get him on the show and have Kyle confronted." That'd be worth watching, definitely.
Yeah, this guy has issues, man.
Your mom says someone should threaten him with a bottle of shampoo.
Did you see him? Did you see that video where he introduces the clips for The Flash?
Yes.
He looked like a homeless person. I don't know.
He's just an eccentric dude, I think. And
this is more than eccentric.
No, yes,
When you start
yes,
getting violent. Like, oh, his name was just in
I'm
my head.
still laughing at your mom's joke.
Out of who?
You know, there's an additional controversy with him over a documentary movie he made a couple years ago involving it was a documentary about police, the whole conflict between police and police brutality and all that. And apparently the video kind of sided with policemen who were accused in these like horrible situations. So at that time, I don't know how he survived cancel culture, because then people started going after him
because his name
totally
isn't
racist and taking the side of white cops in this movie he made.
His name's not big enough.
He's the Flash in the DC.
He's still only been the Flash for what, a grand total of 50
Okay, yeah,
minutes.
I'm not saying he's like a huge star, but he's still like, you know, if you go, who's that dude? And you're like the Flash. Oh, kind of everyone knows.
If
now.
you notice with cancel culture, the times that people get like James Gunn, for instance, right? James Gunn, all these things got out when he got really big. His name was, people recognized his name. Ezra Miller hasn't reached that point yet. If I go up to my parents and I say, "Dad, do you know who Ezra Miller is?" Before this whole thing happened, maybe he wouldn't know who the hell I'm talking about, sure. Right? But he's a, I don't want to call him A-list. It's the A-list people that are getting canceled. Like Louis C.K., when he got canceled, was one of the biggest comedians in the world, right? But he was doing this thing for decades. Huh?
He deserves it.
Oh, I agree. I agree. I'm not trying to delegitimize like the accusations or anything, but what I'm saying is the cancel culture goes after the big guys, right? Harvey Weinstein, Louis C.K., all these people did horrible, horrible things. But what I'm saying is the public doesn't cancel them until there's a wave that can be created by canceling this person.
Yeah.
I mean, there's still. I mean, Johnny Depp got canceled, and it turns out none of that stuff was even true.
Yeah,
well, Johnny Depp is kind of a wackadoodle.
He is who I would call eccentric. This guy's violent. This is more than eccentric. Johnny Depp is eccentric.
Well, Johnny Depp, what was that? I think it was at a convention panel where he like demanded the beheading of the president and stuff. Like,
well, Kathy Griffin takes pictures of holding prosthetic of Trump's head.
This is not normal behavior.
I mean, most Hollywood elite are demanding the head of the former president. I don't know. What's next?
Next up, we got Max is going to cover some PlayStation Plus news.
Yes, PlayStation Plus is getting some changes. There's going to be 3 tiers starting in June for a new PlayStation Plus subscription. Basically, they're changing to the lowest tier is called PlayStation Plus Essential. It's basically what PlayStation Plus is now. You get 2 games a month for free. You get discounts, cloud saves, online multiplayer access. $60 a year, $10 a month, just like it's always been. So that's pretty boring. Like
that's online play too? Like that's like their Xbox Live?
Yes, it's like Xbox Live Gold. Same idea. Mm-hmm. So that's the lowest tier. If you're already a PlayStation Plus subscriber, you're just going to automatically transition into PlayStation Plus Essential. The next two tiers are where it becomes a little more interesting, but it's also like not very specific. So the next tier is called PlayStation Plus Extra. It gives you all the essential tier stuff, and then it adds a catalog of up to 400 of the most enjoyable PS4 and PS5 games, including some of the like first-party games and third-party games. So that's going to be $15 a month or $100 a year, $99.99 if you want to get technical. And then the last one is called PlayStation Plus Premium. It includes all of that stuff, and then it adds an additional 340 games, including PS3 games available via cloud streaming, and then a catalog of classic games for both streaming and download from the original PlayStation, PS2, and PSP. And it's also going to offer cloud streaming for PlayStation, PS2, PSP, and PS4 games, as well as some PS5 games, and you can stream all of that on PC. And then finally, it's also going to give you limited game trials, like timed game trials. And that one's either $17.99 a month or $119.99 a year. So the reason I'm saying it's really vague is like, I'm not against them doing like a subscription service, but they don't tell you what's going to be in any of these, like what games they're going to be providing you with.
I think they're still going to be behind Xbox Game Pass.
100% they are.
Because they're not even adding day one releases.
Yeah, it's I don't. They're not even trying to compete with Game Pass, I don't think.
Well, when the news broke a few months ago that they were trying to make a subscription service like Game Pass, like they kept referring to Game Pass, that it was supposed to be a competitor to Game Pass. This does not sound like a competitor to Game Pass.
It's not. And when you say they, that was never PlayStation saying it was going to be a competitor to Game Pass.
I have no idea. I have no idea. That was just.
Yeah, that was media people.
I have no idea who they spoke to.
From the get-go, Jim Ryan, the CEO at Sony or at PlayStation, has been saying for a long time, we don't need to make our games available on a streaming service. I don't know how Microsoft does it. We aren't going to do that.
Microsoft does that because they can take a loss on everything they put out and still make money.
Well, and they have like 26 million people subscribing, so I think they're doing okay. You know.
Yeah, but the whole reason when they first started it, they're one of the largest companies in the world. I mean, I think they're 10 to 20 times bigger than Sony. Microsoft.
Oh yeah, they're huge.
Yeah,
they're huge.
So they were able to take a loss in the beginning. Sony, I don't know. Plus, did they not learn anything from Xbox in their naming? Why don't they just call it PlayStation Essential, PlayStation Extra, and PlayStation Premium? Why the Plus Essential? Plus, get rid of the Plus.
You're the branding guy. I mean, you're not wrong. I just think they need to be more specific, because there is a world where I might consider getting like the middle tier. Like I might consider getting that, but what games are available? Yeah. And they're not telling me. But to be fair, I don't know if I would still, because every time I say that. There's another reason I probably wouldn't get it, and that's just the fact that I prefer playing on PC and Xbox, and really I only play on PlayStation for their exclusives, and I buy all the exclusives. So it's like, since you're not going to be giving me those games day one, I don't know that any of the subscriptions are really going to be that valuable, except for like the original PlayStation Plus, because I like the online play and stuff like that, and the cloud saves and whatnot. But I don't know. What do you think about this, Matt?
I just don't think it's going to compete. I mean, it's, if you're not getting the same stuff out of it that you get from Game Pass, it's pointless. Like I don't really pay for PlayStation Plus as it is, because it doesn't offer me anything that I want. I don't.
Well, and there are 2 free games they give you kind of suck.
Yeah. Right. And
yeah, I actually have my subscription supposed to renew April 13th, and I just canceled the auto renew. I'm probably still going to do it, because honestly, the main reason, and I hate that this is even a thing, is the cloud saves. Like that's the biggest thing for me, because I didn't pay for PlayStation Plus. I had a PS4 and I had all my saves for all these games. And then I got my PS4 Pro and I didn't realize that none of my saves existed. And I had everything wiped. And now I had to replay all, like any of those games I wanted to play again. Couldn't do New Game Plus. Had to do them all from scratch.
Well, and I don't play my PlayStation 5 for anything but solo games anyways. If I'm going to do online play, I go into my PC or Xbox. I feel like there's far superior online capabilities. Like I still think PlayStation is leaps and bounds behind Xbox when it comes to to like online play. Like I like how easy it is to get in parties in Xbox and do all that stuff. So
Xbox has been doing it longer, right? The online stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
because they started with their first console, I think.
Yeah.
the original Xbox got it. It wasn't as good then, but they did have it from
Sega Dreamcast was the OG though.
Yes, it was.
They were the first to do online. They had this like networking disc that you had to put in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
No, well, I feel like the original Xbox came out before Dreamcast came out first.
Yeah, Dreamcast came out with the GameCube, I think.
I was gonna say, I think, and I know for sure they give you a web browser, but
yeah.
Yeah, so here's what I'll say about this subscription service. If you game exclusively on PlayStation, I think this is good. I think it's a good option to provide you more things to play. I think that if you're new to gaming in general and you're more interested in story games, this is awesome. Like, get a PS5, get one of these subscription services. You can play all these amazing story-driven games that Sony's released over the last 10 years. I think that could be really good. But if you're a multi-platform gamer, and you already have Game Pass, I don't see what need this fills. I don't think it fills any need. But we don't know what games are coming to it. For all I know, there's going to be like the new Assassin's Creed launches day and date on this, or things like that. Like, I doubt.
But they've already said they're not doing day and date.
Not for their games, but who knows? Maybe they'll do third-party games day and date.
I don't know. That
probably
seems
not.
harder.
Probably not. But that's what I'm saying. There's not enough details for me to truly know.
All I'm saying is my biggest beef is they're charging you to do essentially backwards compatibility with their PS3 and PS2 games, I'm assuming, when Xbox just released a console where you can just take all your discs that you already own and play those games. Like, I find it really, what's the word? Abusive.
Anti-consumer?
Yes. When they could have just made their machine backwards compatible. I mean, because Xbox, you buy the disc and you're not even playing from the disc. You're playing from a cloud server anyways. It's just like the key, right?
Yeah.
They could have done the same thing and it been really consumer friendly, but they didn't do it, and now they're going to charge you for it. PlayStation, I don't know. I own a PS5. I love it. But Xbox has a better UI. They treat their customers better.
Yeah.
PlayStation, the plus they have is they have way better exclusives. They have more exclusives that are good.
The only game system I've played the last month has been my PlayStation. So, I mean, I love my PS5 too. So, there's definitely a value in it. Obviously, PlayStation is the best selling of all of them. So, and then next is Switch, and I think we have some Switch news.
Really?
We do, yeah. Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild 2 has been delayed, which I'm super bummed about. I was actually super looking forward to this game. I loved the first one, but it's getting pushed to early 2023. So, along with that and E3 being canceled, as far as video games go this week, it's been a rough one.
Yeah, E3 being canceled sucks.
Well,
why was it canceled? Because of COVID?
It's like the people who put it on are like shrouded in allegations right now.
I mean,
allegations.
They're linked to Vladimir Putin.
Yeah, there's a lot of going on surrounding it.
Ish, are you telling a joke or is that legit?
No, he's
joking.
Oh,
because we don't blame COVID anymore. We're done with that. Now
COVID's over. Yeah,
COVID is over.
Everything we blame on Russians now.
We beat COVID.
It is true how the news cycle did go like that. Like Omicron, I haven't heard about a new variant ever since the Ukraine invasion.
I was
started.
reading about one. One hit my Facebook page the other day.
Okay, all right then.
It's like Omicron, like B.275 or something like that. But
they need to just name one Putin. The Putin variant. Then we can all be against Putin. I mean, we already all are, or should be, but man.
Hopefully. So it's hard. I would have a hard time listening to anybody argue pro Putin, like without completely delegitimizing that person's opinion.
Yeah, I haven't really heard anybody be pro Putin. I've heard a lot of people that are like still anti-Zelensky, but they're not pro Putin. They're just saying both of these guys suck. Anyway, we're not a political show. Video games. Back to that. Yeah, E3 being canceled is kind of lame, but at the same time, it's like a positive that came out of the pandemic is that like virtual things are not bad now. Like they're looked at as good, and they can be really high quality. So Xbox, Sony, EA, Activision, well, which is kind of Xbox now, not officially, but will be, like all of those companies can just do a digital conference, so it's fine. Like
I don't think digital is anywhere near the digital Comic-Con that they've been having.
No, a Comic-Con, yes, that's one thing, but like video game stuff, you're just showing
I
trailers
guess.
anyway.
Like for me as a consumer, I was always watching the videos on YouTube anyway.
Yeah.
So it's not any different to me. Like whether it's done at E3, I mean, it's cool when there's a crowd there and you can hear them cheering in the video. Like that is cool.
Well, that's the whole point.
Is that
of
all
the
they
word
do at E3?
convention
They're just
is
showing
people convening.
Right.
Digital convention is literally an oxymoron.
Yeah, that's true.
Yep.
Let me just sit on my computer and royally troll and trash your product like I don't already do that anyways. I can do
Dude,
it
like the
live in
comments
your
during
pre-recorded
DC
chat.
Fandom.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember that? DC Fandom, the fucking chat comments going live were outrageous.
And then
Were
they
they?
turn them. I think they turn them off. I know, like I think Comic-Con at home turns comments off. Like you can chat when you're watching it live, but the comments are turned off, so you can't like roast it later.
See, I feel like the other way would be more appropriate. Get rid of the live chat because that gets real toxic.
Yeah, you roasted live. It's also just zipping
As
by.
we've
Yeah,
seen.
you can't. Yeah, there's so many. Our chat is not nearly so bad.
No, but
But
we do get a lot of Russian bots on there.
It is funny though. So we went and saw Morbius last night, and Jay came with us. And we were saying, Jay, you got to come on the show more often. He's like, dude, the chat's really hard for me. I'll be in like the middle of a thought, and then someone's telling me I'm an idiot, and it's really hard. And I was like, oh, the chat's not like that. And then the chat's been nice to us for the most part tonight. But man, Sam and your mom were getting into it in the chat earlier. The chat is roasting each other.
Very
The chat's
worthy
roasting
debate.
each other.
Spirited debate.
Sometimes
it's
it's like
not-
a whole separate show on the chat. Like we have our show, and then there's a whole separate
At
show
least
on
they're
the
fighting
chat.
over geek stuff.
I mean, I guess Leftover Zaggy is calling us stupid for liking Xbox, but I can handle it.
I don't
So-
I don't consider it stupid because I don't go Xbox versus PlayStation. I own both. Like
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
with you.
most
Dude, I'm
gamers, if
still
you're a
stuck on
hardcore
a
gamer,
Sega Genesis loading screen, so I don't even know what you guys are talking about.
I'm still playing Top Gun on the original NES. I can't
Yeah.
land on the aircraft carrier.
Dude, speaking of original NES, I'm so excited for this Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, me too.
Cowabunga collection.
Oh yeah, dude,
Yeah,
I'm
me
gonna
too.
buy that shit. I'm
Yeah.
so excited.
I am too.
Ninja
I'm probably
Turtles
gonna-
Turtles in Time might be one of the top 10 video games ever created.
I think I'm going to
Turtles
pick
in
that
Time.
one up on PC because I bet even a freaking potato PC can run that.
Corbin's
So
PS
I can go on
till I die.
vacation. And,
Corbin in the house.
Yes,
Nice.
sir.
Didn't they discontinue the PSP? Like they don't make
Yeah,
it
a long time
Potato,
anymore.
a potato PC made of potatoes. That's the Russian computer.
sorry, it's a
Max is a Russian operative.
it's a PC gamer term. Just saying a PC that's like not meant for gaming.
I'm so
Potato
unhip when it
PC.
comes to gaming. You'll have to excuse me.
Anyway, so Breath of the Wild 2 has been delayed. I wish I was sad about it. I tried playing the first one and absolutely hated it. I need to try it again because I'm
I
sure I'm
love
in the
that.
wrong.
I haven't even
I'm
played
sure I'm in the
it,
wrong
and
here.
I've never heard anybody say I own it, and I have a really bad thing about buying games and never playing them.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, but I've never heard anybody say anything bad about that game.
It's very
It's
well loved.
fantastic.
I don't like games that break my weapons, so that was really frustrating for me. But to be honest, the main issue I had, and this is not their issue, it's my issue entirely. I play on Xbox and PlayStation so much. I know I haven't owned a Nintendo console since the 64. So their controller wigs me out. I'm trying to play and it says press Y, and so I'm pressing the top button, but I think that's actually like their bottom button, and I couldn't figure it out after like 5 hours of playing. I kept hitting the wrong buttons every single time. I just couldn't do it. So I just need to try it again. I'm sure I'd like the game.
You used a Pro
Oh,
controller?
Yeah, I used the Pro controller and I just couldn't get used to it.
Can't you hook an Xbox up? Oh no, you'd still have the
No.
same issue. No, you can. You can.
Zaggy agrees with you. I don't like it. Stupid breaking weapons in very dead world. Nah, see,
That's how I felt, but I didn't get off the Great Plateau. I finished the Great Plateau and then I didn't keep playing. I heard it gets a lot better after that. So
Let me ask you guys
I like
this.
the puzzles in the dungeon though. I did like 1 or 2 dungeons and the puzzles were cool.
Go ahead, Ish.
I have a question. The controllers for Xbox and PS, are they still very different? Have they kind of streamlined?
I'm gonna pull mine off my wall right now. I'll show you.
Xbox hasn't changed their controllers in a long time, and I love that. My hands are too big for the PlayStation controllers, and I'm constant. They have this button on the top that's like a. It's a
trackpad, the touchpad.
I constantly hit it when I don't mean to.
There's
all
a
the time.
touchpad now on the controllers. Wow.
Yeah,
That's
at
how
the very
behind I am.
top. At the very top, there's a touchpad. Can you? Yeah, see that white part in the very top? That's a button.
Okay.
This is the
And-
PS5
So it seems like the
controller.
handles have gotten a little small because I remember the original Xbox was like this.
This is a
fucking
PlayStation controller.
huge thing. Oh, that's PlayStation.
This is
Okay,
actually
makes sense.
bigger for a PlayStation
Yeah,
controller.
they made it bigger so it fits my hands better. But when I hit I'm not sure which button it is. The one all the way,
wow.
the one on the right all the way to the left. Is that a square? I think it's a square button. When I hit the square button, my thumb hits that trackpad every single time.
Oh, that
It
doesn't
drives
happen to me.
nuts.
But yeah,
Drives
this is
me
the
nuts.
this is the new Xbox controller. They're smaller than the original Duke, dude. The
The
original
Duke
Xbox
was-
controller was a monster.
The Duke is my favorite controller ever created.
A lot of people like it.
It was perfect for my hands.
Yeah, I don't-
Perfect.
I prefer this for sure. But
Do they make like third party controllers that you can use?
Oh
yeah.
yeah, the Duke. What was it starts with an H. I don't remember.
So like
the name
different
of the company.
ergonomic designs, you know.
Oh yeah. But one company, Hyperkin, I think it's called, or something like that. They came out with the original Duke controller, and the center has it's a LCD screen that has the original Xbox loading screen on the center of the controller.
yeah, this
It's pretty
one.
fucking awesome.
This is my favorite controller to play with. This is the Xbox Elite. This isn't a third party. It's officially made by Xbox, but
That
the Elite
thing-
Series 2, I love this thing.
That
Yeah.
thing.
It's
weighs
$175. It was expensive.
That
but
thing
it's very
weighs as much as a house. Like it is. That thing is indestructible. I love it.
Yeah, I love it. It's got these like back paddles on here that you can use. I put a piece of
Wasn't
tape
that
on it, so
tiring if it's super heavy?
It's not that heavy.
No, I'm exaggerating, but compared to a regular,
What the?
Hello.
Oh,
That was
whoa.
weird.
that was
Wow.
weird. It
Well,
actually
It's really not
adds
that much heavier, dude. I'm
to
holding
a
a
to
both right now.
original. Dude, yes, it is.
It's a little. It's heavier. Don't get me wrong. It's heavier.
I
but-
think it adds to the playability of it. The weight.
It's better quality because you actually feel like it's got good heft to it, so it feels good in your hands.
It doesn't feel like
That's
a
what she
Nerf
said.
toy.
That is what she said. Yeah, yeah. It doesn't feel like I'm gonna break it when I'm using it like it does when I'm playing with like the PlayStation 5 controller. Or...
Yeah, the PS5 controller is hot garbage.
I love the PS5 controller.
I love the laugh track that we have right now.
Right.
Every time we say something funny, your mom's in the background laughing.
Hey man, Itch Crush is a joke. I'm glad you know it now.
What's next?
Next is we got a release date for the premiere of House of Dragons, the prequel to Game of Thrones.
I think
Coming out
Max was
August
saying the
20th,
date is
2022.
is incorrect on this.
It is the 21st, not the 20th.
It's the 21st. Okay.
Yeah, you're good. So we don't need to talk about this for long, but I'm glad there's a release date. You know,
I'm not
I like-
interested.
I
Do
like.
you guys think if someone hasn't seen Game of Thrones that this is something they should start with, watch this, and then move on, or is it going to be a type of show where you needed to have seen Game of Thrones? Even though
It's
it's
hard
a
to
prequel?
It's hard to say. So like, I'll use 1883 as an example, the prequel to the Yellowstone series.
Okay.
If you watched Yellowstone, 1883 has extra enjoyability, but you don't have to watch Yellowstone to enjoy 1883.
1883 is amazing on its own.
I need to see
It
it.
is.
Yeah, I still need to see
Yeah.
that.
But I don't know because I haven't watched House of the Dragon. I'm assuming it's going to be the same idea. It's a prequel, so like none of the characters in the original are born yet. So I'm
So
sure you can watch
I'm
it
going to make a
without.
confession right now. I still have not seen Game of Thrones.
I
That's
watched
okay.
one episode.
I
and
take
said,
a
this
lot
is
of heat
hot
for it.
garbage, and I turned it off.
Game of Thrones, you've never.
don't
It's
like
on my
it.
list, probably top 5 shows all time that I need to watch. I don't know.
I'm not
what I've been
in-
saving it for, but
I'm not into this type of like. I don't like Lord of the Rings. I don't like this like dragons and medieval stuff. I'm not into it. Like it's just not my
okay,
thing.
fair enough.
So and then Game of Thrones. All I ever heard was there's this brother and sister that go at it like rabbits and all this.
I always hear that too.
And I'm like,
on
why
the
are people excited about this incest
like
thing?
the dicks and boobs.
Yeah, there's incest, there's dongs and boobs, and all kinds of sex, and
it just turned
all
me off. I'm like, I can't.
It's
get
like
excited.
Walking
Incest.
Dead, where your favorite characters are gonna die. It's very bloody.
See, Walking Dead is dealing with a genre that I enjoy. This is not. So the first episode I watched it, and just the way they speak and everything, it's just not my bag, man.
Yeah, the first episode's kind of boring. Honestly,
it took me till season 3 to really get into the show.
So what do you guys think? Should I watch House of the Dragon? Start with that.
I think if you have Game of Thrones already available to you, just watch it.
I think it's going to give you a lot of I think you'll be a little confused on the lore they're going to is the back characters, but I don't really think it's going to have anything to do with the original Game of Thrones series other than containing being more about the.
Yeah, I think it's about House Targaryen.
Yeah, the Targaryens.
You'll learn more about the Targaryens and whatnot. But
is that what Emilia Clarke is? A Targaryen?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
See, and I really want to like the show because I love her.
Yeah, she's really good in it.
She's good in everything.
And she gets naked.
She sucked in Terminator Genesis. She was the worst Sarah Connor ever. I'm just throwing that out there.
That movie is forgettable, which sucks, man,
because of her. And the dude
Jai Courtney and
yeah, he's not great either.
Yeah, and Arnold Schwarzenegger should have hung that up a long time ago.
I don't know. I'll take Arnie any day.
Yeah, because I didn't mind the latest one they did. It was all right.
Hey, just
That's
this past Tuesday, I went to the Harkins Shea 14 one night only, one time showing 40th anniversary of Conan the Barbarian, and by Crom. It was fucking awesome. That movie still holds up.
That's awesome. I wanted to go. Harkins over here was showing The Godfather again. I wanted to go see it.
Oh yeah, every Tuesday they do
50th anniversary.
Yeah. I went during the pandemic. We went and saw at AMC the Empire Strikes Back. That was pretty cool because I'm too young to have seen that in theaters. That was pretty awesome.
I saw it in theaters. They had the reissue.
Yeah, and what I saw was the reissue, but I never saw any of those in theaters. I saw the prequels and on in theaters, but none of the originals, even re-releases.
Yeah, so I saw the re-release Empire Strikes Back in the theater. My aunt took me. It was maybe 12 or 13, I think.
Yeah, I
don't remember.
I didn't get to see those.
It was old United Artists on Arizona Avenue in Warner, and now that's a high school.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, moving on. Tonight's episode of the Absolute Geek Podcast is brought to you by Manscaped. Who is the best in men's below-the-waist grooming? Manscaped offers precision-engineered tooling for your family jewels. Manscaped Performance Package, the ultimate men's hygiene bundle. Join 4 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with this exclusive offer to you. 20% off, free worldwide shipping with the code AGeekPodcast at manscaped.com. If your math is correct, it's about 8 million balls. And your balls and your partner will thank you. Again, we talk about it every week. If you're going to con season's ramping up, we're getting back to cons.
Especially in Arizona.
Yes, especially in Arizona where it's going to be hot. Our con is in May. It's going to be hot. If the past week is showing you anything where it's almost already been 100 degrees, it's going to be hot. You're going to be sweating. You're going to be stinking. Get yourself some Manscaped. Use promo code AGeekPodcast for 20% off. Get some of that ball conditioner, deodorant, and spray down them family jewels so you don't smell like vinegar while you're walking through the con.
Especially if you're Corbin, who goes to these things to be on the prowl to find the future Mrs. Corbin.
If you're going to do speed dating, definitely use Manscaped.
Yes. In fact, we may gift.
If you get lucky, you're going to smell lucky.
We may gift one of these packages to Corbin before Comic-Con.
You can shave your downstairs into the bat symbol. So when you meet a young woman at speed dating and she wants to come back to your hotel room, you're ready to go. You'll be smelling like a mountain man, and you can shine the bat signal in her face
or
and you're
his,
getting ready,
or his, depending on what you're
or
into.
his, whatever your preference
whatever
is.
you're
We're not
into, you
here to
should
judge.
no matter who your partner is, you should present your best self.
Hey, if you're tired of having hairs in your mouth after the deed is done, Manscaped is for you. Trim it up down there. Get ready to go. Boom. Hair
You know who doesn't manscape?
no more hair in the mouth.
Who doesn't manscape?
That cuck Will Smith.
Maybe if you manscape, do it. We got look at Corby. He says, I already have manscaped with my basketball pod promo, but I
Jada
appreciate you
manscaped
both
her.
looking at
Well,
it."
you may need a refill, bro. You may need a refill.
Yeah, use our promo code. Not your other podcast promo code.
Manscaped's a great product. I've been using it for a while now. Not necessarily just not to shave up the downstairs, but all over it. The trimmer can be used in any part of your body, and it's a great little product.
I trimmed my sideburns and stuff the other day and looked real nice.
I trimmed up my 3 chest hairs with it.
You
getting
are
ready to-
extraordinarily non-hairy.
No, I'm not at all. Dude, I can't grow facial hair at all. Like that, I grow like a dirt stash and this very like Kid Rock blotchy beard, and
Maybe that's why. Maybe that's why we have Manscaped now, because Max and I came on the show and they saw us.
Every time I go to get my hair cut, the woman at the barbershop's like, "Do you want me to trim your beard?" And I always say, "I appreciate you calling it a beard," because a beard it is not. But
my boss constantly gets on me. She's like, "Lance, you need to shave your face. You need to shave your face." And I was like, "Listen, I don't grow any hair on top of my head. If I shave my face, you might as well just draw a happy face on your thumb, and nobody would be able to tell the difference."
It's true. So like I'm starting to get a bald spot like up the back of the head, and so because of that I'm just finding like screw it. I think it's time for me to just
because it's all moving to your back, according to Lance.
It's time for me to just start buzzing it. And honestly, the Manscaped thing, I wouldn't mind using it for my head. Like it's pretty darn effective. So
yeah, it's nice, and you don't get like snags. Some clippers like you can get caught and things like that. Like it doesn't get caught on anything. Because I have pretty coarse hair, and it doesn't get caught in pull or nothing. So it's a nice little product.
Hey, kids, trim your balls. So you go get Manscaped.
I had a roommate who once shaved his head with clippers and literally did half the head, and then the fucking clippers broke. It was like,
man.
That's happened to me. I had to make my wife rush out to Walmart to go buy a new set of clippers. or mine are my other set are battery operated, where you actually have to plug it in, and it doesn't work while it's plugged in or anything. So I shaved half my head. My clippers went dead, and I had to wait like 4 hours to start clipping it again. That was awful.
Good times.
But yeah, as con season is ramping up, and you don't want to be the smelly kid at con, Manscaped's got you covered. Got some ball deodorant, the ball toner. It all smells amazing. Shave it into the bat symbol, the Spider-Man symbol, whatever your little heart desires. But don't go to Comic-Con being the smelly kid. Get yourself some Manscaped, and we're here to help you out with 20% off by using promo code AGeekPodcast at manscaped.com.
Manscaped.
What if I want to shave the new Punisher symbol?
You could do that too.
Do it. Or a PS5 controller. Whatever you want, man. Art is subjective.
You could literally bring your Superman cosplay to life. You could use the Lawnmower 4.0 to shave the Superman symbol in your chest. So you can just walk around and just popping your shirt open every female you see to get that Superman symbol going.
I like it.
Because that works.
Do I have enough for that?
Hey, it might. You never know.
I might have
good
enough
strategy.
To do that.
I like
Corbin struck out at the last like 3 Comic-Cons, so I think he should try this Superman symbol on his chest. I think that might work.
No, I think the bat symbol, shaving the bat symbol, so that way, when you show it to her, you're like, look, Gotham
Bat
needs
root.
me.
All right, we've got your mom in the chat. Tell us which bat symbol would be the most exhilarating.
Bat root.
Bat fleck. What bat symbol are we needing to shave into our chest to get the ladies' hearts pounding?
Pattinson's, because it's the easiest.
That's right.
Sparkles.
Oh man. What's next? We talking about Mr. Willis?
Stick Boy says Corbin struck out because he talks about DC comics.
Yeah, probably wouldn't lead with Batman and Robin is the greatest DC movie ever made, Corbin. That's probably a turnoff.
No,
Mr.
he says
Willis.
Batman Forever.
Oh, I couldn't remember. They both suck.
Yes.
I know you disagree, Ish.
Sad day we've had two actors in the last 24 to 48 hours basically announce their potential retirement from acting.
Two
The big
actors?
one. Yep.
Yeah, who's the other
Oh,
one?
Jim Carrey?
Jim Carrey, yeah.
Yeah, his might be an April Fool's joke, but I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't hear that.
I don't know. He just did Sonic 2, and I'm sure they're going to want him for Sonic 3.
Oh, he said that Sonic 2, after the Will Smith stuff and how disgusted he was, he said that Sonic 2 might be his last acting gig. That he's gonna walk away. But yeah, Bruce Willis is leaving acting due to some health complications.
What's it called? Aphasia? What's it
Aphasia.
called?
Aphasia.
What is it? Aphasia.
Aphasia. APHASIA.
So, unlike Jada Smith, this is a real disease.
This is a very serious.
Whoa,
Come
you
on,
can't.
come
how
on.
you
Her
can say
disease is
alopecia
real.
Isn't a real disease.
I have technically I have alopecia.
I
Max
agree with
has it.
Lance. Alopecia, come on.
It's not real.
No,
That's like saying I have a
legal.
That's
hangnail.
like complaining
Alo-
about pimples
No,
and herpes.
Come on. Alopecia would also make us lose our eyebrow hair. We wouldn't even need Manscaped
No,
anymore
that's
for
not true.
alopecia.
That's not true. Not all alopecia is full body. I'm saying
Anyways,
this
I'm
affects
tired of
his.
talking
I got
about Will
alopecia
Smith.
right here where I can't
Let's
grow
talk
hair.
about
on
Bruce
my
Yeah, he's
Willis
not
chin.
leaving acting with this. He's kind of leaving life. Like
Yes,
he's going to lose
this
his
is-
entire
this is-
ability to communicate and understand.
This is
language.
close to
It's
like
crazy.
Alzheimer's.
This is worse.
This is like Alzheimer's or dementia. This is brain stuff. This is cognitive functioning.
Yeah.
It's
And
going.
For me
It's-
personally, this is a bigger impact than even if Jada was to leave acting. I can only think of like one thing I've seen her in, which is Gotham. I just don't really
Yeah, there's no
watch
comparison.
anything she's in.
Living, did you not
There's
watch
no
Living Color?
comparison.
No. But Bruce Willis, he's been one of my favorite actors for years.
He's one of the biggest movie stars in the world. at
Yeah,
one
man.
point.
When you think of
Easily.
action movies, maybe
It's Die
not
Hard.
if you're a Zoomer, but like millennials and like older, Bruce Willis is one of the names you go to. Like Tom Cruise, Bruce Willis, Arnold Schwarzenegger. Like those are some of the names you go to when you think of action movie heroes. Die Hard, it's just Bruce Willis is awesome. And yeah, a lot of the movies he's done recently have been money grabs and pretty dumb and
But
bad.
now we kind of know why, maybe.
But
Yeah,
potentially,
his reasoning skills have been affected by this, like his decision making.
So he might be
I was
just trying
reading-
to like hoard a bunch of money for medical bills.
He
you
did
know
a
what I mean?
movie that Aaron made me watch the other day, which was like the most dog shit movie I've ever seen in my life. And I'm trying to look up the name of it. But she was like, "Oh, I used to watch it as a kid," and I watched it and I was like, "This is fucking terrible."
Oh, it's an old movie?
Yeah, it's an older movie. Like
Oh.
mid 90s movie.
Better
The
not
Kid?
say Hudson Hawk.
The kid?
That's what it is. Yes.
Oh, that's the best.
That movie is
fucking
dog
love
shit.
Hudson Hawk.
I don't
man.
even know. I
That's
don't even
the
know
most
what that
Dog
is.
shit.
That's one of the most misunderstood movies. I had a feeling you were going to say that.
How is it misunderstood? I'm willing to give it a chance, but from what I saw, the stupid sound effects, the dumb
Yeah,
shit.
you have to embrace like
Oh,
they're kind
man.
of going. For
It
this
might be
crazy
one of those
vibe.
things that if you didn't watch it in the 90s, it's not going to like not have the same.
No, when it
value
came
now.
out, people crapped. It was the original like movie that everybody universally shit all over. And
Well,
they were
there's
saying,
a- there-
it's gonna end his career. Blah blah blah. The movie's
There's a lot of
brilliant.
movies like that. I just went to Best Buy today and they have a re-release of Howard the Duck on 4K. That movie was
Okay.
hot shit when it came out, but now it's kind of like a
No,
little
it's a bit of
cult
a
classic.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Duck tits, man.
yeah. I watched it just the other night, like 3 days ago. Howard the Duck. I love Howard the Duck. But that's
Hey,
because I saw it as a kid.
you're in the majority here hating on Hudson Hawk, but
No one liked
I'm gonna
Hudson
die
Hawk.
on that hill. I'm gonna die on that hill. That movie is brilliant. It's genius.
No,
I don't even know what that is, Max. Have you heard of that? I don't even know what that is.
It's
I've
from the
never- I've
director
never heard of it.
of Airheads and Heathers.
Dude,
So
Those
if
are
you get
two
those
great
movies,
movies.
Hudson Hawk, man, is that dude's like masterpiece.
See, I like
So
Airheads,
actually-
but not Hudson Hawk. That movie just
Yesterday, I saw Airheads on Hulu, and I asked my wife, "Have you ever seen this?" And she said no. So I'm holding on to it.
Airheads is
We're gonna
great.
watch it together. Airheads is great.
So speaking of Bruce Willis's career, one thing that I'm a little bummed didn't happen is he didn't make an appearance in freaking Brooklyn Nine-Nine. If you guys watched Brooklyn Nine-Nine, John McClane was like the inspiration for Peralta, the main character's like whole cop gig. And it would have been awesome for Bruce Willis to like make some kind of a cameo appearance in like the finale. I'm a little bummed it didn't happen.
Yeah.
I just love this actor, man. I'm sad to hear about this. You know, things happen. People's health declines, but he's not that old. I mean, he's like my dad's age, I think. You know,
no. But when it
You
came
might
out
be younger than your dad.
he's a year younger than my dad. I just looked. My
Yeah.
dad was born in 1954. Bruce Willis was born in 1955. He was born in West Germany. I didn't realize that.
But you got to realize, like, his ascent
67 years old.
into being a movie star, like, because he was in
Moonlighting.
Moonlighting, and when he went into Die Hard, like, they did not want to cast this guy because he was in this like romantic.
It was like Michael
sitcom
Keaton being
thing.
cast for Batman. Like everyone was like,
Yeah.
this comedian? What?
So they like Die Hard was originally supposed to be a Steve McQueen film, like years before that, and like it got shelved, and then when they brought it back, like they had all these other actors in mind, and the director stood on his hill and said, "No, Bruce Willis, Bruce Willis, Bruce Willis." But it was unprecedented, this guy getting this action role, and he killed it. Die Hard is one of the top 5 action movies of all time, many people would say, if
Yeah,
not
man.
the top.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And Bruce
And
Willis was
Christmas
definitely one of
movies.
the first, you know, he was only a TV star. He had only done TV, and he was the first to successfully transition to movies with really no hiccup.
I prefer.
Yeah.
We see that all the
yeah.
time today, but he kind of was the first.
Yeah, I remember when I was a kid, like there was like Topher Grace and like all these big television stars. They were going into movies and they just fall flat on their face, right? It was happening all the time. It's not until recently that that's kind of
Sure.
that people follow the celebrity more so than the
David
project.
Caruso, that's like one of the infamous ones.
Yep.
I don't know if it's probably dating me, but he was on the NYPD Blue. It was like
Matthew
number one
Perry.
show.
Matthew
redhead.
Perry too.
Matthew Perry, another one. Yeah.
When he left Friends, he was supposed to be this movie star, and his
You got to look.
Yeah.
movie career.
You got to
just
look
kinda
at all
floundered, too.
None
the
of those
cast of
guys
Friends.
really.
No, Jennifer Aniston's the only one.
And even
Yeah.
she like
Well,
didn't
Courtney
really go on to
Cox.
do like.
I'd say Courtney Cox has had a successful.
I
movie
guess
career, too.
Scream. I guess Scream, but that was more of like an ensemble thing. Like that had Nev Campbell, but that's the only thing you could really call Courtney Cox. Jennifer Aniston's done lots of things.
But rarely as a lead actress though. Like some of her best work, like Horrible Bosses, but she's not like the lead in that movie.
Well, she was in We Are the Millers, and she was a main character, and she was in a lot of Jason Bateman movies.
The breakup
been in.
with
That's that's true. That's true.
I
You're
would
right.
say Jennifer Aniston is a movie star. I mean,
Yeah.
she's most well known for Friends. They're all most well known for Friends, but Matt LeBlanc floundered in show business. Matthew Perry, Lisa Kudrow had some things like she was in Analyze This, and she had Romeo and Michelle's. Like she had
High
some
School
hits.
Reunion, yeah.
Yeah, David Schwimmer did voice acting.
Yeah.
Not against
He does a
her.
lot of directing too. Yeah.
Yeah, but the reality is, these people made so much money on Friends. They don't have to work another day in their life. Just invest that crap, and you could live not even a middle class life. You could still live a wealthy life for the rest of your days. From
Didn't Bruce
10
Willis
years worth of
cameo
work.
on an episode?
Yeah,
I
he
think
was
he did.
Rachel's girlfriend for a while on Friends.
For like
His
6 episodes.
Girlfriend. Oh,
Or
Boyfriend.
boyfriend, sorry.
He was Rachel's
that's good
boyfriend,
acting.
and he was also Ross's girlfriend's father.
So what? So let's just real quick. What is your favorite Bruce Willis movie? And it can't all be Die Hard.
Armageddon.
Okay, Armageddon was going to be mine. Dang it!
Sixth
Now I have to come
Sense.
up with another one.
Sixth Sense.
I've never seen Armageddon.
Armageddon was
You've
my
never
favorite movie
seen
for a while.
I haven't. The year it came
my
out, I
God.
saw Deep Impact instead, and I'm like, I'm good with Deep Impact. I don't need to see the other Meteor movie.
Deep Impact is a snooze
and now I
fest
know
compared
it's
to
become this
Armageddon.
kind of like cult classic for it's so bad it's good. I guess.
Armageddon
Aerosmith
wasn't
song.
a cult classic, was it? Didn't do really
Well,
well.
I think
in the
people talk
theaters?
about it. Yeah, it's true. It was a very successful movie, but it was the critics and
I think the soundtrack did better than the movie.
yeah, the fucking Aerosmith song.
Do you know that's not even an original Aerosmith song? That song's been covered 4 different times. Brad Paisley came out, or was it Brad Paisley? Some country singer did it at the same time as Aerosmith. It's not even an original Aerosmith song, but theirs is the most popular.
Do you want to know what movie he did that he should have won an Oscar for? Look Who's Talking.
Unbreakable is fantastic. Sixth Sense.
I was going to ask, what's your favorite? I think you said Sixth Sense. What about you, Ish?
I'm trying to think. I was trying to think of some of his more serious roles.
I mean, you got
he was in that one
Element.
Bonfire of the Vanities with Tom Hanks, but that was like a huge flop when it came
He was
out.
awesome in Sin City.
Yep, Pulp Fiction.
Mm-hmm.
Pulp Fiction, yep. Yeah, for me, I mean, I didn't want to use Die Hard as the cop out. Armageddon was going to be my next answer, and I know I said don't use Die Hard, but I meant the original. Die Hard with a Vengeance is honestly, it might be my favorite of the Die Hard movies. That movie's so freaking good.
Better than the first one?
I think so.
Yeah, that's
not by a lot. Like the first one's
one
awesome.
has Alan Rickman, dude, and that guy.
I love Jeremy Irons.
I
though.
cried when Alan Rickman died.
I like them all except for number 4. Number 4 is kind of
Is that the one with
Justin Long.
Yeah, that was hot garbage.
I thought not a lot of people like number 5, but I thought number 5 kind of.
I like all of them.
was a
Well,
little
number
better
5
than
went
number
back to
4.
rated R, right?
Yeah,
Because the one with Justin Long was PG-13.
I like
There's a
all
lot
of them,
better,
but
more
1 and
Die
3
Hard
are the
stuff,
best.
actually.
1 and 3 were
2,
the best.
come on, you gotta love 2 also.
I like 2,
They're all good.
but I don't think
Yeah.
2 is as good as 1 or 3. Samuel L. Jackson's also just so good in Die Hard with a
Heart's
Vengeance.
War is a good movie. I like
So Die Hard with
Yeah,
a
that was good.
Vengeance might have one of the dumbest movie moments in history. Is Samuel L. Jackson happens to be driving by out of all of New York City right at the point where Bruce Willis shoots out of the manhole with the water. That scene every time.
Hey,
I'm like,
it's not an action movie. It's not a good action movie unless there's some,
that's like one of the biggest coincidences ever in any movie.
He did The Kid, that Disney movie, which is a great movie. The Kid is
Oh,
awesome.
12 Monkeys. There you go.
12 Monkeys, yep.
Excellent movie. Fifth Element.
The Fifth Element. Mm-hmm.
Speaking of Matthew Perry, whole 9 yards.
The Jackal.
Jackal
that was
is
Jack.
bad.
That was Jack Black's. You didn't like The Jackal?
Jackal is bad. Oh my god.
Is that the one with
Gere?
Jack Black?
Yes, it's notable for having like a really early Jack Black performance, and he gets blown away in his body.
Yeah,
like,
I liked The
wriggles
Jackal.
around when he gets shot.
I like The
I think
Jackal.
that's
You don't like the Jackal, but you like Hudson Hawk.
Yes, Hudson Hawk is entertaining as fuck. The Jackal is just like this neat movie.
Oh, he
I
did
need to
that
go
movie.
I need to go on a Bruce Willis binge. There's actually quite a few.
Oh,
Bruce
Death
Willis movies
Becomes
I haven't
Her.
seen.
Have you seen Death
there
Becomes
you
Her?
go. Robert
That's a good movie.
Zemeckis.
Uh-huh.
That's underrated.
Tears of the Sun was good. I agree.
Tears of the Sun was all right.
North was like a kids movie. I remember as a kid that I really liked.
North is a very underrated movie that ended Rob Reiner's directing career pretty much. Because I remember people just lost their minds over North, but it's actually kind of it's like the Hudson Hawk of its time.
Oh my god, dude, that movie's so bad.
Yeah, Bruce Willis is.
It's clear to me that
It gives
Bruce
me-
Willis didn't get a lot of love in his movies though after like the 90s.
It really
Like I
gave
like
me-
Looper, but most of his movies after the 90s.
Oh, I
are
love
Oh, I
Looper.
forgot about Looper.
Yeah.
Looper's really
Hudson
good.
Hawk gives me bad, like, Who Framed Roger Rabbit vibes, and not in a good way.
Who Framed Roger Rabbit is a classic.
It
love
is.
that
I don't know how you would
movie.
compare
Okay,
the
I
two,
thought
but-
you were trying to.
No, I'm just
I
saying.
thought you were trying to tear down Who
I'm,
Framed Roger Rabbit.
I'm comparing it because of how like campy and over the top it is, and like they use like the cartoon sound effects for it and stuff, and in Hudson Hawk, and it's just like.
What I love about Hudson Hawk, you can see Bruce Willis is having the absolute time of his life making that movie, and that joy shines through.
I guess.
Yeah, I
And
don't know.
Danny Aiello, come on.
Also, I'm sorry to the people that love The Fifth Element. I've never liked that movie. I don't know what it is about that
I like
movie.
that.
You know what? I never cared that much for Bruce Willis in that movie. because the movie has such a like global European feel, and then you have this lead actor who's like so just American, you know.
You're more Mila Jovovich, huh?
I just think I don't think I saw The Fifth Element until like, I don't know, like 2006 or something like that.
Movie, though.
And I wasn't impressed. By the time I saw it, special effects were so much better that I just thought it was.
You're
really
all forgetting
cheap.
the best Bruce Willis movie ever that he should have won an Academy Award for.
What's that?
Cop Out.
Hey, Kevin.
Did you guys
Smith
see
came
Kevin
out.
Smith actually apologized for
Yeah.
his cop out comments because now he feels bad?
Yeah.
I love Kevin Smith.
Kevin Smith's a crybaby.
Yeah.
Kevin Smith seems like a real genuine guy, which is kind of a rarity in show business. I think he's really genuine. So if he's a crybaby, that's fine. But he's a genuine
That's who
crybaby.
he is, yeah.
You know,
He's a good dude.
Yeah, I think he's a really good dude. He just, I mean, he directs. He comes out with movies that his fans are clamoring for, like begging for. He's not one of these guys that's
Like
like
yoga hosers.
No one was begging for yoga.
I'm not a
Lance
Kevin
just
Smith
said
fan
he
either,
makes
really.
movies people like for yoga.
Well,
hosers.
he
That's
probably
the
he
other
probably
one.
thought that was a movie that would
Walrus
be.
one,
Oh yeah, Tusk.
Jersey Girl.
Tusk is an anomaly. Like, as a huge Kevin Smith fan, Tusk is an anomaly because, like, the first half of Tusk is a really good fucking movie, and then when it goes south when the minute he like turns him into the walrus.
Isn't Tusk and Yoga Hosers in the same universe?
Yes.
Yeah, and there's a third movie. It's like his Canadian trilogy.
Yeah.
He calls it the
it's,
True North trilogy or something like that.
Yeah. Or isn't it? I thought it was the Great White North trilogy or something like that,
No, you can't say Great White North anymore.
or the White North
Why?
trilogy or something like that.
Why can't you say Great White North? Because
You can't say the words great and white together.
Yeah.
Come on.
there's a
Lance.
cartoon show. The I'm pretty sure the two new writers of Deadpool write Great White North. That cartoon.
But
Two women.
That was the
Yeah,
McKenzie
Moose-
brothers, Bob and Doug McKenzie.
Moose
Strange
Jaws is his third film. It's Jaws with a moose. That's what he says.
Clever.
I don't know. Kevin Smith just seems like that actor that will do anything for his fans. Like I don't know.
This-
It's just
Because of punctuation, your mom's comment here is very dirty.
As I relate, it's super hard to fucking.
Yeah,
Oh.
is it the 37 comment?
the laugh track.
37.
What's your preference, your mom? Is it 7-Eleven or is it Circle K? Like, who has the best?
She's a quick trip gal,
Quick Trip, QT,
and I mean quick trip.
in and out.
I don't know why I said that.
Oh man.
But yeah, so Jim Carrey, we
I hope
already
it's
touched
fake.
on that. Talking about leaving acting.
Wait! I had one more thing to say about Bruce Willis.
Okay.
Okay.
Ahead.
Back to how Kevin Smith apologized, like I was mean to him, I feel bad. How about, do you guys know the Raspberry Awards, right? The Razzies.
The
Yeah.
Razzies, yeah.
They're
They took
the
their
awards,
back.
the opposite of the Oscars. They're for the worst everything. So they actually, for this year, came up with an entirely new category, and it's just to honor the shitty movie Bruce Willis made that year. So Bruce Willis movie is going to win that category every year. And I'm thinking, how big of an asshole do they feel?
They call it the worst. They call it the worst Bruce Willis performance of the year. So they'll come out with like 5 or 6 movies, and they'll pick the worst one,
yeah,
and give him an award for it.
So in
they
light of
actually took it
this,
He's been
they might
doing a
want to
lot of movies,
rethink
though.
that.
So they came out, they took it back. They canceled it. They've only done that twice. So they took back his and they took back Duvall's for The Shining.
I don't think you should take anything back because you're just now finding out about this. So like you're gonna be like, oh, I feel like an asshole for things that he
Well,
did.
they're saying this can explain a
ago.
lot of his choices, and people were complaining about his demeanor on sets, in the last couple of years. That
Yeah,
this
that's.
didn't
I was
talk-
actually gonna.
So it created this whole thing that Bruce Willis is like the biggest asshole in Hollywood, and then it turns out maybe not. Maybe this entire time he was struggling.
I was
He has
reading
been doing a lot of movies though. He did 8 last year.
Yeah.
He knows he's probably got
He
some
has-
crazy medical bills coming his way.
He
So
has
you take every
10
job you can get.
movies this
Just
year
like
that are
Nick
supposed to come
Cage,
out.
he's got to pay his taxes, so he'll star in
Which
any
Nick
movie that
Cage
comes his
is going to
way.
make bank off of that new movie that's coming out. That movie looks so good.
That looks hilarious.
I actually got invited to go see a pre-screening of it on last Wednesday.
Oh, nice.
Did you go?
No, I went and saw Batman again instead.
No, I was reading a report. So apparently he did a movie with somebody from a reality show called Vanderpump or something like that. He did a movie, and in the movie he was supposed to yell something and then shoot this gun, but he kept shooting the gun before he yelled the thing, and this girl was getting all pissed or something like that. And
Wait, that was Alec Baldwin.
he didn't shoot anybody.
So
but
then he shot her instead.
The yell was supposed to be like, it was supposed to be a warning because the girl's back was turned to Bruce Willis or something like that. It was supposed to be like he was supposed to yell, and that was supposed to be like her warning that the shot was coming. And he kept shooting before he would yell it, and this happened like 5 or 6 times. And
I understand that struggle. It's always tough to not shoot before you yell.
But a lot of these things are explainable now, and I just feel really, I feel bad that I wasn't watching his movies for the last few years. You know what I mean?
There's a dude with, nobody made fun of his bald head, and he flipped out.
Yeah. But Jim Carrey, this would really suck, man, because when the trailer first came out for Sonic and they showed him as Dr. Eggman, Dr. Robotnik, I was not sold because he's not robust, he's not anything, but he's a big part of why that movie is good. Sonic, the first Sonic.
Personality.
No, he wasn't. He wasn't rotund. He wasn't rotund, and he wasn't. Dr. Robotnik's supposed
fat.
to be like a.
Just say it. He's fat.
Yeah, I don't.
Kind.
Why are you trying to be kind? Fat, it's a word. It's okay.
Because I fucked up with the alopecia thing, and now I'm trying to be.
You're already dead in the water, Lance.
You're allowed to. Okay, you're fat. You're allowed to say the word fat.
I'm not fat. I'm husky.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I'm fat. Yeah, no, I'm with you.
I'm not fat. I'm festively plump.
That was way too good. that is something you practice on the daily, I think.
Probably.
I'm not fat. I'm just a vessel full of love.
Yeah.
There's more of me to love.
Yep.
Ow.
I'm not fat. I'm just
I hope this isn't the case, but I totally get
Fluffy,
it. I mean,
yes.
with people souring to, what Hollywood has become, but I don't think he's exempt to it, because for a while he was painting these pictures that were just completely celebrating these awful things. I don't know if you've seen...
interesting life, because wasn't it like his girlfriend died or killed herself or something like that, and then he went off the deep end, and then he did Kick-Ass 2,
but then he took some flack for being an asshole to her, so people felt like her suicide was related to how he treated her.
He did Kick-Ass 2, and then he took the
then he flipped on Kick-Ass 2.
Flipped out about Kick-Ass 2, and then now
weird.
Which that was a franchise killer. Kick-Ass 2.
He did it. He just feels like a roller coaster of what he's gonna do, and now he's speaking out against the hypocrisies in Hollywood, and after what happened at the Academy Awards, and
it's weird because he has these moments of these eccentric outbursts, right, with the paintings or whatever, but then you see him in that interview that he was given. I forget what show he was on, or I saw him on another one where it was like an artist roundtable where he's talking to other actors, and in those moments he's so well polished and so thoughtful about what he's saying and everything like that. And then you see this other. I almost wonder if he's bipolar, to tell you the truth.
He does have some moments of he's got a little wisdom to share, and
Yeah.
And then he has moments
Mr. Popper's Penguins. There's clearly a screw loose.
Have you seen his show? He's like a children's Yes,
Is it
Happy.
called Happy?
Oh, it's great, dude. It's a great show. In fact, I think another season's come out that I need to go watch. But great show where he's playing like a Mister Rogers type character. It's on Showtime or Stars or something, but it's a fantastic show. He is a undervalued actor, I think.
He's a very good actor.
I don't think
He's
he's
not just
undervalued. Like he had his time, like Ace Ventura, The
No,
Mask,
but
Dumb and Dumber.
Yes, comedy.
Man on the
things.
Moon. Like
Yeah,
Man on
then
the
he
Moon
does
is
something
one
like
of
Man
my
on the Moon.
favorite.
That movie is incredible.
But
Yeah, it's
Man
one
on the
of my
Moon
favorite.
flopped in the theaters.
That's because
Number 23, Man on the
I think-
Moon, the show Happy. Like, he's not celebrated for some of these roles. Like, yes,
Yeah. He
us
was
as professional movie watchers, I guess you could say, yes, we understand that. But the general public, they want to see him kick himself in the nuts or do this and that. He doesn't get celebrated. He's like Adam Sandler. Punch Drunk Love, Adam Sandler was genius
Yes.
in it.
Yes.
But Adam Sandler, they want to see Adam
Or
Sandler.
Uncut Gems.
I didn't
Yeah.
really like Uncut Gems.
that was
I
awful.
loved Uncut
Man.
Gems.
Oh,
Matt
man,
hated
that
it.
was good.
That's awful. It's one of the worst movies I've ever seen.
Yeah, I agree.
I
but
loved
like
that movie.
I love Man on the Moon, and I think people just don't understand the
That's one
genius
of my
that is
favorite
Andy
movies.
Kaufman, and they don't.
When
I,
Andy
like,
Kaufman was alive,
Speaking of
nobody
slaps-
understood the genius of
no, I
Andy
know,
Kaufman.
but you don't understand. Like when they did they did a documentary with him explaining, like I think it's called like Me and Andy, like what he did and channeled
lost
Andy
in that
Kaufman to
character,
get
yeah.
into that role. Yeah, he got lost into that character. He became Andy Kaufman essentially.
Yeah.
So
And the number 23 is another movie that flopped in the theaters, and I loved
And he
that
tried to
movie.
go serious in
but
that,
then you
yeah.
got like Eternal Sunshine for the Spotless Mind.
Great
Yeah.
movie.
Like there's
Another
a lot
one
of
that
great
flopped
Jim
in the
Carrey
theaters.
movies
That
out there.
that's celebrated now in hindsight, but when it came out, people are like, "What the hell?" Like, we want to see Jim Carrey get kicked in the nuts, not this
Well, yeah,
serious.
'cause you got,
But when you
yeah.
say flop, though, that movie actually did not cost a lot. So it was for the people who made it, it was successful. They won a bunch of awards. They made their money back, and plus, it just didn't have the viewership that his,
I think it
general
just
audience
didn't live up.
comedies would get.
It didn't
It was
make
an
as
art film.
much. Yeah, I don't think, because you got to remember, like, he costs a lot, right? So I think the only movie, if you wanted to call it a serious performance, is The Truman Show. Like, I think
I
that's the
love The
only
Truman
movie.
Show.
Oh, there you go. There's another one. Yeah.
I think that's the only movie that was like him getting away from that slapstick stuff, like Ace Ventura and Dumb and Dumber and all
Well,
these things.
Eternal Sunshine.
Christmas Carol
definitely.
was a pretty impressive performance, honestly.
Which one?
Christmas Carol. He did like every voice in that.
That movie flopped.
Yes. Fair
That
enough.
movie didn't even make back its budget, I don't think. That was a Disney one. The Grinch is popular now in streaming and all these things, but when it was in theaters,
I
it
don't
was
either.
not.
No, that was are you kidding me? That was the #1 hit of the year. It came out. That movie
The
was
Grinch?
huge. Yeah. That was a
The Grinch is
massive,
huge.
massive
The
hit.
Grinch got panned.
It did.
So maybe
went to
people
see
went
it
and saw
anyway.
it, but it got critically panned, and he
It was
actually
savage,
did really
yeah.
well in it.
I don't take what critics say to heart though half the time because
I know. All I'm saying is that he could
Well,
be
like Grinch-
afforded more respect. That's the only point I'm trying to
I
make.
think it's because it was in the time where like you were saying, people wanted to see these comedians make funny movies. They don't want to see them in these dramatic roles, and now like comedians do some of the best dramatic roles. Like
Well, look at Robin Williams. You know,
Mhm.
he turned into
Yeah.
an amazing
Yeah.
dramatic actor.
Yeah,
Tom
that's true.
Hanks turned into an amazing dramatic actor. These were all
Insomnia is one of
comedians.
my favorite movies ever. Insomnia is so good.
That's a good movie.
And that's Robin Williams, like at his, and then he comes out with 1 Hour Photo, or 1 Hour Photo might have been before,
man,
and
that
he
was
was
creepy.
he was just eviscerated for 1 Hour Photo. That movie bombed.
It's
And
such a creepy movie.
yeah, or what's the one where he dies and he's going through the paintings and stuff?
Oh yes. Oh, I can't
What is that movie called? What Dreams May Come?
Yes.
Is that what it is? That movie flopped in the theaters too.
That was an expensive flop. Yeah. in
Yeah,
particular. That's a very creative, very interesting movie.
but some of his serious stuff was, but yeah, and I was reading an article about it where it was coming up with all these examples of these comedians that go into these dramatic roles and just kill it. And
Yeah, a lot of them do.
comedians have, as a stand-up comedian or just comedians in general, they have to understand emotion, right? They have to understand how to get to that funny bone,
Timing.
right? And timing and things like
Yeah,
that.
sense
And
of
that
timing,
translates really well to drama. So you always Will Smith, you could argue, was a comedic actor with Fresh Prince and stuff, and now you see him coming into these serious roles, which most of his roles now have been serious stuff.
No, he was a rapper that did some funny stuff.
But if you watch Fresh Prince, when he was in Fresh Prince, he was literally mouthing the other characters' lines as they were saying them. Like, you can see him on camera doing this. But it was a comedy, like that's where he got started, and then he just learned to understand timing and things like that. But when drama actors move to comedy, it doesn't have the same effect. Not all, like Liam Neeson. Liam Neeson is funny in the comedy movies he's in is because
my God,
he's still playing a dramatic version of himself.
Yeah, he's just making fun of himself.
That dude just plays Taken in every movie. Like,
oh yeah,
every
this
movie,
is an ongoing joke. This is an ongoing joke I have with my parents. My parents are like, "Oh, we want to see what was the one who was in the snow."
They showed a preview for one last night when we went to go see Morbius.
Yeah,
and me and Aaron turned to each other, and Aaron goes, "Taken 13." But this time he's deaf, and I'm like,
"That's what I call every morning. Taken, but on a train. Taken, but in the snow. Taken, but in a submarine."
Okay, so I wanted to mention this earlier when we were talking about Ricky Gervais, but I was like, I don't want to take up too much time with that. But Liam Neeson, just like I saw this skit with him and
where he wants to be a stand-up comic.
Yes, and it's hilarious. He's basically playing the Taken role, but in a comedic way.
But I wonder if when he's doing that, he truly doesn't understand why it's funny.
No, I think he does.
I don't know, because he plays the same guy in all these. Like, if you watch Wild Wild West, right? Or is it Wild Wild West? No, what's the one? 100 Ways to Die in the West. Is that what it's called? The Seth MacFarlane one.
I've seen him in other things, and I think he can do a good job. But since Taken, he's done a lot of the same crap. I thought he was great.
Yeah,
he was great in Ra's al
Ghul and stuff like
he
that.
was in Les Mis, and he was awesome as Jean Valjean. Like, I think Liam Neeson's got some acting chops, but he has done the same crap a lot lately.
Yeah, I just think it doesn't always translate from one way to the other. Drama to comedy as it does to comedy to drama. Like,
yeah. So Steve Carell's another one of those. Super funny guy, but he can do some great drama as well.
Yeah. Oh yes, he can.
Yes, yeah, and probably the most successful of all time, what your mom was saying, is Tom Hanks, who started in Big and The Burbs and Money Pit. And all
what's interesting is I don't even think of Tom
Oscars.
Hanks as a. I don't even think of him as.
He started a sitcom. He started as a sitcom star.
Or Shia LaBeouf, who started in Even Stevens and all these other things, and Honey Boy is like, and Peanut Butter Falcon and all these other things are fantastic movies. He's becoming this serious actor. Well, they just understand
his stupidity and his poor life choices will make it to where he's never going to be respected in that manner.
Oh yeah, I agree. He should, in my opinion, he should have won Best Actor for Peanut Butter Falcon. That movie is flawless. I don't know if you three have seen it, but
yeah, I watched it with you.
Did you?
Actually, I've seen Peanut Butter Falcon too.
Oh, I love
Big and
that
Money
movie.
Pit are two of my favorite Tom Hanks movies.
The
I saw Money
Burbs
Pit
is
in
so
theaters
good.
when I was a kid.
Money Pit used to be my favorite movie as a kid because every time my dad would watch it, I would get a massive kick out of when the naked baby fountain starts pissing on him. Like that was just the best when I was a kid. So
I love The Burbs, dude. The Burbs is so good. I love that movie.
I mean, Seth Rogen's kind of done it a little bit too with like Funny People.
Funny People was a great movie, and Adam Sandler's in that one too. Or Jonah Hill.
Oh, Funny People is good. I agree with that.
Jonah Hill got nominated for an Oscar for
yes.
for
Jonah
Moneyball.
Hill is good too. Yeah,
but these guys just they get it. These comedic actors, they just understand what it takes to manipulate somebody's emotions. And I don't think it, 9 times out of 10 it doesn't work the other direction.
But so we're gonna get 2 back-to-back episodes release week for Obi-Wan, and then what is it like? Are they taking a week off, or no? They pushed it back, right? They pushed back the release date.
Yeah, so the release date was going to be May 25th, which it's kind of a bummer it's not going to be because that's when A New Hope came out was May 25th. So it was
Yeah,
kind
they
of
pushed it
cool.
to the Friday.
Yeah, they got pushed to the Friday, May 27th, and they're going to release the first 2 episodes same day. So, I mean, at the end of the day, it's good news. I think it's exciting.
I wonder why they're moving back to the Friday model. I like the Friday model better, but everything's been coming out Wednesdays lately.
I don't know if it's going forward Fridays or if it's just the first one.
Well, I don't know. It would make sense that they would move them all to Friday, but maybe you're right. I mean, I don't understand why they would move 2 of them to Friday and then not the other ones to Friday.
I don't know. I wonder if IMDb's up to date on it. So May 27th and then June 8th. I don't have a calendar in front of me, but is June 8th a Friday or is that a Wednesday?
Yeah. Can I just say
June 8th is a Wednesday?
Yeah, so it's going to be Wednesdays after that. So they are taking a week off. They're doing May 27th, and then they're taking the week of my birthday off. Lame. I don't get an Obi-Wan episode in the week of my birthday. And then, every Wednesday after that.
Oh, wow. Wow. I prefer the Friday model.
I like both. Friday was cool.
And I
was
had
nice
nothing
to end
to
my
watch.
week. It was nice to end my week with a Star Wars.
Yeah, but that weekend is bad because that's Phoenix Comic-Con weekend. So most likely you're going to be at Comic-Con that day.
Which one?
Friday, the 27th, when it premieres. That's the weekend of Phoenix Comic-Con.
Oh, I'm going to be watching Obi-Wan. I'll be late to Comic-Con.
Not if I'm driving you.
Or I'm watching it in your car then. I'm not. I'm watching Obi-Wan.
I just want to touch on something real quick. So Eternal Sunshine.
As long as it's not yourself.
Eternal Sunshine had a budget of 20 million and only made 34 million domestically. That's not a successful movie. Just wanted to touch on that real quick.
Okay. I remember during the Couch Crunchers days, Lance, you would say, "Oh, we always talk about box office numbers. It's so boring." And now what are you doing? Stop talking about it.
What else would you say? Because I brought up the critic thing, and you guys are, I don't listen.
I didn't
so
say
the
a
only
thing.
other thing you bring up is the money thing.
I didn't say a thing.
I don't know. What's next?
Lance doesn't like Star Wars.
Kenobi's moving. 2 days.
Moving on up. Booby.
Let's do it. Let's talk Morbius. We've been waiting.
Okay, so let me preface this by saying it wasn't a good movie. But I don't think it deserves the vitriol that Matt was trying to give it.
Yeah, it's not I don't think 16% is a very fair.
Well, those are the critic ratings. The audience score is
That has to be
60.
the lowest rated comic book movie, maybe with the last Fantastic Four.
That's low, dude.
Have you seen this yet, Ish?
I have not.
He has not.
This movie
I'm not clamoring.
reminds me of like the 90s superhero movies.
It's very dated.
Get.
It's very dated. Yes.
And not in a good way. Like none of the stuff, like the stuff with Spider-Man you see in the trailer, the stuff.
Are we doing spoilers?
We can if you don't want us. Are you planning to see it,
dude?
I want an explanation for the Vulture. Apparently,
okay, well, I'll give that to you.
Garbage.
Well, here, all the stuff you see in the trailer with him walking past the Spider-Man poster with murder, that's not in the movie. The stuff with the Vulture being like, "Hey Doc," not in the movie. Like a lot of the stuff that's in the trailer is not in the movie.
Yeah, so there's several.
But they're saying it's not a multiverse Vulture. It is the MCU.
It is the MCU Vulture. Yes.
And does it make sense?
No.
So yes.
No, it doesn't.
No.
Yes, it does. It's easy.
No, because if you watch the end of Spider-Man No Way Home, it makes absolutely no sense. They all got sent back to their universes. Why the hell is he still there?
So I'll spoil the after credit scene because it's already online and we can talk about it. So basically, you see like the skies open up purple like it does at the end of Spider-Man No Way Home, and then in a jail cell, the Vulture automatically appears in a jail cell there, and his line is, "I hope the grub is better in this joint."
Yeah, that was a dumb
That's
line.
it. So he's not actually in the movie then.
Right.
No, it's
well,
an
then
after credits.
later on, Morbius, who they just spent an hour and a half trying to turn into this like hero, trying to take a Spider-Man villain and turn him into a hero, is driving down the road and he pulls off in the desert, and then the Vulture comes flying in, with Stark Tech. Which how did he get the Stark Tech after it was destroyed in Spider-Man? How did he get the Stark Tech
with
in
a
this
new
universe
with a new
to make
helmet?
to make his wingsuit with a new helmet. And he says, "Thanks for meeting me, Doc." And he says, how about me and you do some good? And Morbius
He says, I have a feeling this is all because of Spider-Man. So
Yeah.
how does Morbius know who the hell Spider-Man is?
And then he says, "Ooh, that's intriguing." And that's it after credit scene. So it makes no sense. It contradicts everything that happened at the end of Spider-Man No Way Home.
So those are the worst. I think the after credits are the worst part of this movie because I don't think they make sense. Once Doctor Strange casts his spell, he should have been thrown back into his appropriate universe.
Maybe.
No,
like
not
all I'm
maybe.
saying is maybe. Yes,
What?
maybe, because we don't know everything yet.
But everything in No Way Home is the whole reason for No Way Home is that all these entities are coming into this universe after this Peter Parker because they've been unmasked and they know he's Spider-Man.
Yeah,
This
I
is
get
the
that.
only character that's been thrust out of that universe into this universe. And I know the director of this movie has come out and said, we're going to find out who this universe's Spider-Man is. And I'm pretty sure it's going to be Andrew Garfield.
I really hope
That's what
so.
I'm thinking too. And
That's the only reason. That's the only reason why it makes sense they removed that scene from the trailer from the movie, because in the scene from the trailer shows Tobey Maguire's Peter Parker.
I mean,
And
that
if
could have
it
very
is
I read
easily
that
been photoshopped.
that image is taken directly from the Spider-Man video game, and it's actually not from any of the movies.
But
I
it's
think
his
you're right,
suit.
but it's the Toby suit. I think you're
So
right.
so they're going to give you a Sinister Six movie.
By the way,
That's
the
pretty
greasy
much-
Jared Leto comment.
Yeah. They're going to give you the Sinister Six movie. That's pretty much been established, but it's not going to be in the MCU because they literally pulled Vulture out of the MCU into this universe to try to give you that movie
So
to team
are we
up.
going to get like a new ASM verse then?
Yeah, that's what they're trying to build.
Sony
And
ASM.
I think
the Twitter campaign to bring Andrew Garfield back has been strong. So now Sony sees that, and Sony's always been one about, trying to grab a buck when they can. They see the dollar signs on the wall that people want Andrew Garfield. I kind of want them to do what the Spider-Verse movies are doing and just kind of bring them in occasionally. Like we saw the trailer for the new Spider-Verse movie, and Spider-Gwen is able to come through the rift and hang out with Miles Morales. And why do we have to have two separate Spider-Man universes? I just don't. I don't.
Because
I'm
Sony
intrigued.
doesn't want to give up ownership. That's why.
I'm intrigued to see what you guys liked about this movie because, like, Jared Leto, I thought Jared Leto looked good in the beginning of the movie. I was intrigued, but it just goes downhill quick. And
I thought he did fine. I thought Matt Smith did.
Was he
Matt
greasy?
Smith,
no,
I don't think so. No, I thought he did fine. I thought Matt Smith did fine. Matt Smith looks like he's having a lot of fun.
That's true. He did. Look like
The
he was
entire
having a lot of
movie, is very predictable.
fun. I agree with
You
that.
Figure out where it's going really quick.
Yep.
There's some lines in it that are extremely corny. That really, if you're a professional screenwriter, you should take a little bit more pride in your work, in my opinion. That's the point I was trying to make last night with you, Max.
Yeah.
But just extremely corny stuff. I have an issue. So the beginning of the movie is set. He goes to Costa Rica. He sets up this net thing, catches all these vampire bats, brings them back to New York, right? The end of the movie, and I'm okay to get into spoilers?
Sure.
Okay, so
I mean,
Ish, is that all right?
Yeah, I'm fine.
We usually
So-
spoil things.
So
And this is a movie most people don't care about.
Yeah, so he brings probably 100 to 200 vampire bats back to New York so he can test them and figure out this cure for this rare disorder, chromosome disorder that he has, right? And at the end of the movie, suddenly he's able to call 5 million bats into the subway to defeat Matt Smith. Are you telling me within seconds all these bats flew from Costa Rica?
That's what Erin said. She turns to me and goes, "There's no way he brought that many bats." Then goes, and it's so bad that he literally, if you're a fighting game fan, you're gonna get this analogy, or an anime fan, I'll do it both ways. He charges up and Hadoukens bats.
Yes, I
Yeah,
thought Dragon
that
Ball
was pretty-
Z
Or
immediately
Kamehameha's
does
bats.
that.
I thought
Matthew
Kamehameha
Smith's
too.
character. Yeah, and I was
Yeah.
like, that is. I laughed out loud when that
I
happened.
thought, I thought that was pretty dumb too. I was like, what? What's going on
Throws
right now?
these bats at these guys, and then the guy, like previous to calling all these bats, he's like on his deathbed. Essentially, he's dying. The bats fly in and somehow rejuvenate him, and
Yeah,
he's
that
able
doesn't
to
seem like-
fly through the air.
That didn't
and
seem like much
stab
of a
Matt-
stretch to me.
My only thing is that you're in a vampire movie and there's like no blood in this movie at all.
It would have been better.
Dude's
I was
getting
thinking that.
like attacked. There's no blood. Like when he gets cut, or when the doctor gets slashed, there's blood. Or when she like gives him her blood, that's it. But like he creates this synthetic blood, so it's blue. Like it's like they were like, all right, well, we got to figure out a way to keep this movie PG-13. Let's just make the blood blue. Like you've got like blood bags, like blood transport bags, and they're blue, and it's just.
I think that's where Sony made the mistake, even with Venom, is they should have made this entire thing R-rated. This entire universe.
Yes, your mom. It
Should
is
have
more DBZ than the end of Man of Steel.
They should have made the entire universe R-rated, because Venom feels watered down. Now Morbius feels watered down. Kraven the Hunter is probably going to feel watered down. And it might have been cool to see Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man in an R-rated universe. And then if you want to bring him in, into Tom Holland's universe periodically, you can water him down a little bit there, and I think people will be okay with it. But the whole thing with Andrew Garfield's universe is Spider-Man. The two movies that he did was supposed to be a darker take on Spider-Man. They could have kept that going, made it R-rated, made this whole thing connect, made their own universe, and I think I would have liked it a lot more if this movie was truly the horror movie that they were trying to sell.
The other thing, is this movie very much follows the same formula as Venom, and I think with these movies, the lack of Spider-Man is shows.
Yes,
because Venom, he's fighting another symbiote that's not Carnage in the first one, and then he's fighting Carnage in the second. So all he's doing is fighting symbiotes. Mm-hmm. Morbius, he's
fights
fighting
another of himself.
Yeah, he's fighting basically another version of himself. It's like the clear inclusion of Spider-Man that's missing from this is very evident, and I think it hurts these films a lot. This film being pushed so many times, this was supposed to come out last year.
Was supposed to come out before Spider-Man No Way Home, right?
And it just keeps getting pushed. It got pushed and pushed and pushed, and like the special effects are bad in it. Even the CGI in it is bad. In 2022 or whenever this movie, 2019, whatever, when we're at the peak of CGI, why is CGI so bad in this? The fight scenes, you can't even tell what's going on. You just see a lot of like them going back and forth,
purple
and
streaks and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like him flying, like it's like he can only glide. Like I like the whole fact that he flies on like the airstream, but he can only like glide for so long.
And how come the other one can't?
He looks like Nightcrawler. His power set looks exactly like Nightcrawler's.
Yeah, he almost looks like he's transporting at times. But Matt Smith is supposed to be the same, have the same powers. Doesn't fly once in this movie. Ever.
Why do they have to have love interests? Like, not all of these movies have to have this love interest character.
Yeah, but never mind the fact that this woman just saw Jared Leto kill 9 guys on a boat and then wants to make out with them, or cuts her finger and Jared Leto starts freaking. Which I thought those scenes were cool, of him trying to suppress his hunger,
His desires or whatever.
Kind of like a shark in the water type thing, and it sees the Morbius face keep flashing through. Like, I thought that was actually pretty cool idea.
Yeah, but my issue with that is the movie runtime was so short that they had that scene where he smells the blood and he's like having to fight himself, and then he goes and runs into another character who's covered in blood and he's totally fine, just chit chatting with the guy, and then he runs into another character who's covered in blood and just chit chats with him. I'm like, but like literally 10 minutes ago in the movie, you were like struggling with a
it's
drop.
only an hour and a half. It's
Why is he chit-chatting with people covered in blood?
What?
Chit-chatting. I'm trying. I know we said spoilers, but I'm trying to keep some things vague.
Okay.
A character
That's just
that
you painted
close to.
this picture.
Chit-chatting is the wrong term.
A character that he's
approaches-
close to gets nearly gets nearly killed by the bad character. Jared Leto runs over there. He dies essentially in Jared Leto's arms. He's covered head to toe in blood. So he's alive when Jared Leto
PG-13
gets
amounts of blood.
Yes. He's and Jared Leto's just like calming him to death, essentially. But he's not having these like, oh, I'm going to drink your blood, hunger, pains. I don't know what you would call it, but I don't know. The movie is very inconsistent. It's very inconsistent.
I think it's funny that it's like an hour and a half runtime, and at one point I turned to Aaron and said, "This movie feels longer than the Batman." Like this movie felt like it was never going to end for me, and I felt like I was sitting in there I felt like I was sitting in there for 3.5 hours.
Yeah, it just feels like a movie that came out 15 years ago, probably even longer, around the time that Fantastic Four came out and Blade and all these other things, and it just feels done. And Venom felt that same way. Venom just feels like a movie that's been created before and that no one really needed, right? And Kraven the Hunter is going to feel that way because Sony just doesn't understand these characters. I, at one point, turned to Max and I said, when is Apple going to buy Sony so that Marvel can have 100% control of these characters?
Well, they're also not giving these projects to filmmakers who have even a modicum of vision, right?
No.
It seems like they're just yes men, do it under budget, on time, make sure the stars don't lose control.
It seems like they're making these movies to sell merch, which we had that conversation.
To make a dollar,
ago.
But
yeah,
I mean, you look at the Batman,
t-shirts
and they gave it to Matt Reeves, and he really, that's a movie that Matt Reeves made, right? But Morbius, I don't even remember the director's name.
Well, all of Marvel is doing that. They're trying to give these projects to directors that actually like these characters. I mean, Jon Favreau is the whole reason why the Marvel Universe exists, because he had a love for Iron Man, right?
But it's more than just a love for the characters, like cinematic vision. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To make a movie that's just not just some product that's put out there.
But I think Jared Leto looks amazing as Morbius. When he's transformed, he looks like the character. He looks really good. But it just, man, the rest of the movie just does not save that.
I have a feeling that was something that was important to him after the vitriol that he got from the Joker. But to say that this is Marvel's worst movie ever is not correct. I mean,
I don't know if I agree with that statement. What's worse?
The two Venom movies?
No, honestly, I think I have more fun watching the Venom movies than I have more fun watching the Venom movies than I had watching this.
I would give
rather
this
watch
movie
Morbius or Elektra.
Morbius.
That's a tough one. Yeah, probably Morbius.
Would you rather watch Morbius or The Incredible Hulk?
What, the Eric Bana one?
No, The Incredible Hulk.
The
Edward Norton?
Oh, Incredible Hulk all day.
Are you talking about the Ed Norton one or the Eric Bana one?
Ed Norton one, yeah.
I love the Edward Norton one.
I'd rather watch it. Yeah.
I like that one. I like it a lot. In fact, I was one of the people that said they shouldn't have fired him. And then Mark Ruffalo came in and was actually really good. So I kind of ate my words a little bit. But this movie is better than the Fantastic Four reboot, hands down.
Yeah.
Fantastic Four reboot is god-awful. This one actually has somewhat of a coherent storyline until the end credit scene. I mean, you can follow.
Is Morbius better than Joss Whedon's Justice League?
No.
Yeah, yes.
No. I'd rather watch that than Morbius again.
No, I would not. It's not better than Zack Snyder's Justice League, which I also didn't really like. But I would rather watch that over this. But better than Joss Whedon's? Yes. Joss Whedon's is...
Is Morbius better than Twilight?
I can't even tell you.
I'd rather watch Twilight, honestly.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, I couldn't even tell you. It's definitely better than Elektra. It's definitely better than Fantastic Four.
Morbius or Hudson Hawk?
Morbius.
Ah, don't do it.
Dude, Hudson Hawk is just not a good movie.
Would you rather watch the second Ghost Rider or this?
Oh, dude, Spirit of Vengeance is awesome.
Oh, that movie fucking sucks. That movie's awful. The first one I actually like. The second one is awful.
Dude, just the over the topness of it is what makes it awesome.
I think the second one had a better transformation.
Yeah,
When he does the transformation in the second one, it's kind of scary.
Does Donnell Long, I don't know how you say his name. Does he die in the first one?
Low. Yes.
Logue? Yeah. I liked that movie up until he's not in it. And then the rest of it could have just been thrown out. And then the second movie could have, because he wasn't in that one either.
well, and let's talk about Tyrese. Why was Tyrese even in this movie?
I know.
Not that
Hey,
I'm
did
not
you
saying
see
that
Jay?
against.
Did you say Jay was in this movie?
Yeah, I did. Like, dude, I originally, like, they literally make him the Marvel's version, like discount version of the Batman. So much so that they even got a guy who looks like Commissioner Gordon.
Yeah.
Like, the Jay character looks like Commissioner Gordon.
I don't understand why they needed the both of them.
Dude, Tyrese did nothing.
They could
And
have
I thought that joke about where he's going to look at the video footage. He's like, "Yeah, don't worry about moving." I was like, "Dude, that's not even like a joke. Tyrese hasn't done anything in this movie." Like, that's not a knock against Tyrese, but like literally, not saying that he's a bad actor, but it's like literally he does nothing in this movie.
I thought this movie was better than Dark Phoenix or The Last Stand.
I don't know about that, man.
See, I like The Last Stand.
I like Last Stand.
I don't hate it. I don't love
Yeah,
it.
I don't
but
like
I like it.
I like X1
Magneto
and X2.
lifts
I
the
did
Golden
not
Gate
like.
Bridge. That's fucking badass.
There's some cool scenes in The Last Stand, but as far as a coherent storyline, it is not.
But I don't know.
I don't know.
Dude,
I don't
gave-
think it's an incoherent storyline.
I don't know. And it's been a while since I've seen that movie. Wolverine Origins.
We
This
get
is
to
better
see
than Wolverine
Cyclops die. Well, we don't
Origins.
see him die, but
Yeah, you just see his glasses on a riverbed.
it's very satisfying.
It is satisfying watching
Oh man. I don't know. I think there's worse movies. A 16% tomato meter. I'd probably say it should be closer to like a 30%. Is
It's
this a
more like
movie that I'm gonna? Is
Batman
this a movie
versus
that?
Superman.
Yeah, yeah. I would put it in the same category as Batman versus Superman.
It's
which I've
definitely
seen.
not a movie I'm gonna run out and see again. Or
Yeah, I watched Batman versus Superman. I think 3 times. Once in theaters and then casually at the house. That's probably where this movie sits. I have no desire to ever see Batman versus Superman again. But I don't know. The audience score is way too generous at 65%.
yeah.
I mean, I think it's a movie.
Well, I think
That's-
that'll change. We should like look at these numbers on Monday. You know what I mean? After it's gotten a full weekend.
Yeah, who knows? It could
It
be
might
Marvel
change
fanboys that are
drastically.
just giving it. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're absolutely right. My problem with a lot of these movies, Venom, Morbius, most of the Sony movies that they're coming out with, is it just treats the audience as if they're stupid. You know what I mean? Like I feel like with some of the Marvel movies, not all the Marvel movies, but with some of the Marvel movies, they actually try to put a element of cerebralness to it. You know what I mean? Like No Way Home, like kind of kept you guessing and things like that. Like these very linear storylines that don't have any complexity to it just makes me as an audience member feel stupid because it's way too easy to predict. Just the whole from start to finish, you know where this movie is going.
I don't understand their fetish with like trying to take these villains and make them the main focus of movies. Like I think this movie would have been so much better if they would have had Kraven the Hunter as the bad guy, and as Morbius transforms and he's killing all these people, Kraven is hunting him. Like
Yeah, but then you make one of them a good guy and one of them a bad guy, and then it completely takes. Like that's been my issue. Why would Morbius or Venom fight Spider-Man? Why? And if they make Kraven a good guy, why is he going to go fight Spider-Man if Spider-Man is also a good guy? Like, that's always been my issue. I want to see the Venom that wants to kill Spider-Man. I want to see the Morbius that wants to go fight Spider-Man. And right now, it does not make sense of why that would happen unless Spider-Man went out and, made fun of their wife's hair or something. I have no idea. It's just, these movies do not need to exist.
Well, I don't know. Essentially, Venom is just nothing more than the Venom symbiote is nothing more than a scorned girlfriend, because he loves the power that Spider-Man possessed and he wants it back. His whole goal is to try to get back to.
Yeah, so you have to essentially have a whole movie. You have to have a whole movie of where Peter has the Venom symbiote, like Spider-Man 3 was, and then gets rid of it, and then the next movie it could be Venom wanting to kill Spider-Man or get that body back.
But you can easily fix that with Tobey Maguire, or not Tobey Maguire, but Andrew Garfield's, because he says in No Way Home, he talks about one time where he almost lost control and beat someone to death. Well,
but he never
have him do that in the black suit.
Yeah, but he says in that same breath that he's never encountered an alien before.
True.
Yeah, that's true. But
so I don't know.
Well, unless they go. Technically, a workaround of that would be going the Ultimate Spider-Man route, because Ultimate Spider-Man, the name symbiote is not an alien; it's created in a lab.
Was it created in a lab in the first Venom movie, or did they find it?
I think they found it.
I know there's a lab.
It came from outer
point.
space.
It did come from outer space.
Yeah, outer space.
I haven't watched the first Venom movie in so long.
Yeah. Matt, I do want to touch on a point you made about the CGI, and I tried to make this point to Matt in the theater. Even the part with the purple rift in the sky is nowhere near as good as it is in Spider-Man. It looks very two-dimensional. It looks very flat. In Spider-Man, it looked like it was actually in the sky. This looked like somebody just used like a. You remember those overhead projectors where it had those clear, like someone just put a picture of a blue rift in this, like it wasn't.
Yeah, it just looks like it's like overlaid it on there.
Yeah, like it looks like it's not really, like it was really bad CGI. And then the end credit scene with Morbius driving the car and going out there to meet Venom. First of all,
Vulture.
Why did Vulture reach out to Morbius? Why is Morbius driving a car? Why does it look like a Lincoln commercial? Why how does Morbius know who Spider-Man is? Why would he want to team up with a guy that's obviously not a good guy? There's so many questions there and so much that doesn't make sense. And why is Venom there in the first place? Because Doctor Strange's spell was supposed to send everybody back
Vulture.
to their respective Vulture. I keep saying Venom, I'm sorry. I mean Vulture. Why is he even there? It just doesn't make
I think, well,
any
we already
sense.
know it's pretty much a given that this movie and Venom are in the same universe, because he literally says, "I am Venom." And
Oh yeah, and then they references
scares
the
the guy.
San Francisco thing in the beginning of the movie, Jay's character.
So
Guy looks so much like Jay. Like
Yes, he
from
does.
the hair to the glasses to everything. I didn't tell Jay that because I didn't want to offend him, but it is.
But
Jay.
what? So what? I mean, we haven't given Max a chance to say why he liked this movie.
I'm good.
Why? You don't want to say why you like the movie?
I just don't like when the podcast goes 4 hours. I've been worried that if I say
It's
good
not
things,
4
we're gonna-
hours. It's 2:28.
I know. I didn't. I went in with exceptionally low expectations,
Me too.
and I know nothing about Morbius really, other than that he's a vampire. I've never read anything about the character really, so I just went in trying to be entertained, and I was kind of. I don't need to see a sequel of this. I'm not interested in a sequel. The character was okay, so like if this is an Andrew Garfield universe and he's part of the Sinister Six or something, cool. I hate this whole thing Sony's doing with their villain movies, though, where they're good guys. It's like, well, they're not villains then. It's just weird. I liked the first half of the movie. I liked better than the second half. I liked all the science stuff. I liked his like artificial blood thing. I liked the the first reveal when he becomes Morbius. I really liked that scene on like the boat, like, and that's where I wish it would have been rated R, because when he's killing all those guys on the boat, it was pretty cool. But
Felt
it would have
very
been better.
Sam Raimi, that part.
Yeah, it would have
Like
been way
Doc
better
Ock
if
going
he
and
was
killing all the nurses and stuff.
He should have been ripping people's limbs off, and like we should have seen a lot more blood. And it was cool though, so I liked that. And then beyond that, I actually thought Matt Smith's character was not good. I thought he looked like he was having fun, but I thought he was really silly and stupid.
I couldn't get over the fact that he's wearing a suit and New Balance shoes. I'm like, dude, this guy is supposed to be like a billionaire, and he's wearing sneakers and like a ragged old suit. Like,
well, that's what billionaires do.
It was bad, dude.
Bill Gates, he always sneakers and like this ill-fitting jacket.
But Bill Gates is in his 60s.
So at the end of the day, here's what it is for me. There was some okay action. The story wasn't great, but I enjoyed Leto's performance. I overall enjoyed my time at the movie theater. Was it a great movie? Absolutely not. I enjoyed it for popcorn and spectacle. That's it.
I can respect that.
Yeah, it was a good excuse to go to the movie.
Our exchange last night, and you were like, "No, it wasn't a."
Oh, he was trolling you. He was trolling you.
I was trolling.
He said as he was typing the text that he was trolling you.
Yeah, Matt. As we got out of the theater, I saw a text from Matt. He said Morbius was not good, and I said, correct. It was great.
No, it's just very predictable, and I'm.
Oh, it was super predictable.
And
as soon as I saw more serum, I was like, oh, his friend's gonna take that. He's gonna be the bad guy. Like, it was so predictable.
Yeah, when these movies are predictable, I just think they don't think very highly of their audience. Like that's what I can't.
It was
get over.
edited poorly. It was too short. There was a lot of things about it that were just not really good. But I just, I had fun watching a movie. Dolby Cinema is always a nice thing.
You paid to go see this movie in Dolby?
Well, no. I have AMC, so no.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I did, but part of my
Jay did.
Desert Ridge?
No,
Stapley.
Stapley, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I love
Which is like
Dolby.
an hour drive for us. I really do too. I just wish the seats were better.
Yeah. Fat Cats has the best seats in all of movie theaters.
I'm gonna say good night. You paid that? No, thank you.
No, we pay the $20 a month. So essentially, if we see 3 movies this month, it washes this one out.
There you go. I guess we're gonna skip the end credit tier list this week.
Yeah.
Again, push it to next week. Do my top 5 comics real quick. Run through here this week. It wasn't a big week for me. Number 5, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 127. The reveal of Venus de Milo. Who's Dr. Jasper Barlow and as a friend or foe. As the TMNT regroup from their battle with the Punk Frogs, the Doctor makes some of our heroes an offer. They're mutant, basically Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but they're frogs.
So they're battle toads.
Essentially, yeah. Make our heroes an offer they can't refuse. Basically, it's this like doctor who's into like gene splicing, and way back Donatello got his shell smashed in by Bebop and Rocksteady, and now he's got like this artificial shell on, and he talks about how he never feels comfortable in his own skin anymore, even though he should. And the doctor offers to basically put him in his own body, and he talks about how he's taken parts from other mutants to basically fix issues and regrow natural tissue. And then they show Venus de Milo sitting there in the chair, and all these other like empty shell turtles that they've tried to experiment on, and her all Frankenstein together. So that was our first look at Venus de Milo.
Limbless.
Yep.
Is this Eastman and Laird both did this?
No,
just Eastman.
Just
yeah,
Eastman.
just Eastman.
Eastman
And-
I forget who it was.
And he's more sort of like a consultant on the book. He's not actually doing. He does like the B cover for it.
I thought they like made up and stuff, and they were doing stuff together now. Is that
That's
not
the
They were.
last Ronin.
The Last Ronin, yeah.
Which the Last Ronin has probably been the most celebrated series
been
of Turtles
super
in a long
good.
time.
The only problem is it's like you're getting like 4 months, 5 months in between issues.
Yeah.
And then like the 5th issue comes out at the end of June or at the end of April.
Yeah, which I'm
So-
just waiting to read any of them until they're all out. Because this is the last issue coming up, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My number 4 was Miles Morales, Spider-Man 36. Basically, we're getting back into the multiverse. Millions of miles from home, Miles and Shift, which is one of his clones from the Clone Saga, are lost in the multiverse. And thanks to the assessor, could be a one-way trip. Miles will risk everything to find his uncle. Basically, he's going looking for his uncle Aaron the Prowler. And they're time jumping, so they go back in time to like the Wild Wild West, and they run into like an ancestor of rhinos.
Oh, did they see Will Smith?
No, they don't see Will Smith. They run into like T'Challa, an ancestor. T'Challa is like the sheriff of this like Wild West town and stuff. So it was
Does
interesting.
this
more
feature a new
multiverse stuff.
suit?
Yeah, that looks
New
different.
suit
Someone
was
said that this
featured a
debuts like a
few
new
issues
black
ago.
suit.
That
Not the suit on the cover. But
He
like
stole
someone said
he
there's a
stole
new-
Harley Quinn's tights.
no, I don't believe there's a new suit in it.
Okay.
Isn't that Harley Quinn's pantsuit?
Sure, Lance. Why not? Surprise for me of the week: Batman Beyond the White Knight. A
This
lot
is
has
gonna be
changed in
good
10 years,
reviews.
especially in Gotham. Batman, aka Bruce Wayne, may be behind bars, but the real criminals are still out there. Gotham's Motor CEO Derek Powers has seized control of the Wayne family assets and is using them to transform the GTO and the cities they've sworn to protect. Crime is down, but at what cost? The new Batman has emerged in the city, and only Bruce is fully aware of the dangers to come. It's time to destroy the mantle for good, but he'll need one of his forgotten sons' help to do so. Enter Jason Todd, the first Robin. Which, yeah, so this is like kind of a Elseworld, or what I would call it, Elseworld or What If storyline, where like I want to say like the first one, the Batman White Knight, the Joker was a good guy.
Yeah, it's like the White Knight verse.
Yeah, Joker was a good guy. Harley Quinn's good. Batman's in jail. Terry McGinnis has got the new bat suit, but you don't know who's helping him. I'm assuming it's Damian. Tim Drake kind of works for like the head of the police force, and Jason Todd was actually the first Robin instead of Tim Drake. So,
Which, speaking of, did you guys see that? So I never saw this before, but the first Robin in Zack Snyder's universe was Jason Todd. That both Zack Snyder and David and Ayers came out and said it was Jason
yeah,
Todd,
well,
not
it's because
Dick
they
Grayson.
use that stupid like death in the family storyline. Leftover Zaggy says the criminal is a fudged prince for this and a second print already. Yeah, well, I want to say the artist or the writer came out on social media and said like there was an issue at the printer and that the first print, the A cover, was drastically underprinted and that it's gonna sell out and it's gonna go for big money. So like it jumped up on eBay, but I didn't have a problem finding the A cover. Like there was
we
plenty
got
of them out
our
there.
complete order. We had no issues, but I did hear some stores were selling it for $20.
Yeah, that's because it's going for $20 to $30 on eBay the day it came out. But it's a fun story. I know Corbin really liked it. Kyle really liked it.
Of course, Corbin liked it. It has Batman in it.
I enjoyed it as well. It's if you want a different
It's
take
getting
on
really
Batman,
solid reviews across the
the
board.
White Knight series is really good.
I know. Any chance to tease Corbin, I'll take it.
Number 2, Spider-Man, the end of the Beyond saga. I've really liked this saga. Some people haven't, but I've really liked the return of Ben Reilly. The big final of Beyond, Spider-Man versus Spider-Man. Not a bad. It wasn't a bad ending. It was fairly predictable. You just know that Ben would end up being the next Spider-Man, and that Peter would have some kind of falling out. So they start fighting because Peter's coming back as being Spider-Man, and Ben is Spider-Man, and they kind of go through this, like Ben's having this whole like identity crisis thing, and then he kind of disappears and dies, and then comes back as a new villain called Chasm, which is like it's like essentially the Spider-Man costume, but it's all purple. It's pretty cool. So
I thought they were going to reveal
kicking
Ben
off-
Reilly finally as Kindred.
Yeah, but that's Harry Osborn though.
I just kidding.
Can I show you guys something? I just opened my new subscription box for Funko. Look at this fucking shirt they gave me.
I can't see it. I'm not single. I'm saving myself for Thor.
What?
Enjoy wearing that.
Yeah.
Where's the Funko on it? This seems like somebody made out of their fucking house. This is bad.
But I enjoyed my
annoyed right
time
now.
with Beyond, back with Ben Reilly. But we're getting a brand new. Do you know if this is going back to bi-weekly, or is it still going to be a weekly title?
Actually, that's a good question. I don't know.
Because I know we're getting a whole new creative team and a whole new number one.
Well, is it a whole new
and
team? It's gonna be Jim Zub again.
Yeah, well, and Ramita Jr.'s coming back,
That's right, Ramita Jr.
which I'm not psyched about that because his art.
I
has
hope
been-
this is not like Action Comics Ramita Jr.
Well, I'm hoping it's not kick ass. Like he hasn't been able to kick that kick ass art style. Number one for me was Dark Ages 6. I loved this storyline. Like I'm so like sad it's over. All the sacrifices made on the day the world went dark could be for nothing. If Apocalypse has his way, some of the greatest minds on the planet have been enslaved by the tyrant and are working on a plan that could end in annihilation. Will our heroes fighting for their loved ones and lost ones be able to stop Apocalypse and his forces, or could the world end again? Did you check this out, Ish?
No, but I will read the trade when it comes out.
Oh, I've
We
loved
sold
this
out. We sold
storyline
out so
so
fast
much.
out of like issue 1 and 2. I literally missed the boat. I didn't pull it from
I've
myself.
loved this storyline so much, in just kind of the different ways they use these characters, and kind of like
I feel like this is almost Marvel's answer to Dark Knights of Steel,
yeah.
and that this
But-
probably should have gone 12 issues instead of 6.
Yeah, and I like the
Is that a venomized Miles Morales?
it is, yes. He's got both Venom and Carnage symbiote
Interesting.
combined.
That's really cool.
Look at this one. It's him dancing.
Baron Zemo.
The dancing.
Oh,
pose.
nice. Where'd you get that?
It's the
Oh,
Amazon.
from the pop box.
Yeah, every 2 months I get a new box. That shirt sucks, dude. Though I'm super pissed about the shirt.
Yeah, and like Miles has a good story about him and Venom finding each other and wandering through this world together, and they're trying to stop Apocalypse, and like Purple Man is using his abilities to control like all the big scientists to try to help. Like Apocalypse has basically this big entity, this new entity went off and EMP'd all of the technology, so it sends them back into the Dark Ages, and they're using Magneto as a way to make energy again. So like all of their, like Peter Parker goes back to like steampunk days for his shooters, and everyone's kind of got like this old technology,
Like steampunk
old
Iron
world
Man.
technology, yeah, to do their stuff. And they're using Apocalypse is using Magneto to make electricity to kind of like rebuild the world, and he's kind of used Magneto to put his consciousness in this entity to try to obliterate everyone. And he's got Purple Man's got like not Stephen Strange, but Reed Richards, Tony Stark, pretty much every like great scientific mind in the Marvel universe trying to work on this. And he needs adamantium to try and make this transfer work. So he's got Apocalypse's Wolverine underground, like just slashing away at the ground, and he actually takes Cyclops down there and has a prisoner Cyclops, and they force Cyclops to remove his beam to kill Wolverine to be able to use his adamantium skull to build this shield. And the way they kind of break it, Deadpool kind of like luck of the draw breaks the Purple Man curse by shooting him in the head. So it's it's been a really good book. If the trade comes out, I say definitely pick it up. If you can get your hands on all the issues, I say definitely check it out. It's been one of my favorite reads. Looks like Zaggy's liked it too, but it's been one of my favorite reads in a long, long time.
The story sounds awesome. I read the first one and then I kind of fell off, but I enjoyed what I read.
You find them all online, but that's.
I wish I'd grabbed the first couple issues.
Oh shit! I forgot we were reviewing this.
I loved Moon Knight, dude. I loved episode 1.
Yeah, I'm really annoyed with the stuff that they were saying about the show, how it felt like disjointed and stuff, and I think that's what makes it awesome.
That's the whole point.
That's the whole point, right? It's supposed to be disjointed. Now, what I'm really bummed about is they said it's only 6 episodes. I wish they would do some longer seasons.
And apparently episode 4 is like the big episode.
Yeah, and they released the first 4 episodes to the press. So a lot of the press has already seen the first 4 episodes.
That sucks.
Yeah, I thought it was great, man. I thought Oscar Isaac was
I can get
awesome.
an invite to a stupid Nick Cage movie, but I can't get an invite to see the first 4 episodes of Moon Knight early.
Disney's hard, man. Disney goes through a company called Fingerprint or
Finger looking good?
Finger bang?
No,
bang you into my life?
They use all these promotional companies, and it's hard to get into the company that Disney uses.
Yeah. No, dude, Oscar Isaac, though, he did such a great job. Like, the duality in all of this, and doesn't he have like multiple personality disorder?
Yeah.
Yes.
And we know that there's, I don't know if they.
Well,
said
currently
it.
there's only 2, but in the
I thought there was 3.
There's 3.
in the comics there's 3, but I don't think they've.
No, there's
shown
3 in the
yet.
show too. There's the main one that he is. There's Mark Spector.
Actually, I think there's 7 in the comic.
Yeah, there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. In the show, there's 3. It's the one
Depends
who's
on the one you
narrating
read, I
them,
guess.
which is the Egyptian god. There's Mark Spector, which is the guy, the Moon Knight version of him.
Oh,
And
so
then-
the voice that's telling him to like give up control to Mark is one of his personalities.
The Venom voice.
Yeah.
Oh,
Did you guys not think that?
I thought
totally
that
felt
was
like
Liam
Tom Hardy
Neeson.
talking to Venom?
I
Yeah.
did
It was
get
F.
slight
Murray
Venom
Abrams.
vibes, but I got
big
big
time
time
Venom vibes
personalities.
from that.
I thought
My
that was
wife,
like-
my wife,
God.
literally, I watched the first episode with her, and she said, "Is Venom in this show?" I said, "No, babe, that's not Venom."
it does definitely give off the same vibes. Because
Yeah.
don't his powers come from like an Egyptian god?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so that's what I was thinking, because I'd done a little bit of research on Moon Knight. I thought that voice was the Egyptian god.
Now, how are they going to explain the different suits? Because there's like 3 different Moon Knight suits that they're going to use in this show. Because we've seen promo images of like 3 or 4 different
I think
Moon
there's
Knight
only
suits.
2. There's this one, and then there's Mr. I think it's Mr. Is it Mr. Moon or Mr. Knight? The one where he's in the white suit with like the Baron Zemo mask.
I thought there was a 3rd one.
Yeah. Well, we'll
Yeah,
see.
and like Zaggy just said it. He came out and said that he does not have a multi picture deal to play Moon Knight.
Well, hopefully people like this enough that that doesn't
He'll
remain the
probably
case.
sign
I
on for
thought- I
more.
really-
He was just probably trying to take the Apocalypse, or not Apocalypse. Was it Apocalypse?
Yeah,
X-Men?
he was Apocalypse.
Yeah,
and
he was
that's
Apocalypse.
horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He probably doesn't want to sign on for more in case this sucks. I don't know. I
really
thought
liked
it was
Ethan
great.
Hawke and his character.
Yeah.
That was very intriguing.
You know,
Yeah.
About a
Ethan's-
real villainous snarl. That I
do you
think a
know
lot of
Ethan
Marvel
Hawke
stuff is
signed on
missing.
without reading a script, without knowing anything about it? Oscar Isaac met him for coffee and begged him to do it, and Ethan Hawke was like, "Okay." Next day, he had a deal. He's talking
Well,
about it on
wow.
Jimmy Fallon.
That's
He
cool
said
that they took such a pathetic villain for him and actually gave him a little bit of teeth.
Yeah.
Yeah. And,
Well,
and
this
I
is
read
the
that it
same
was
guy
Ethan
that-
Hawke came up with, they had the cane, and he was questioning, why do I have a cane? What's my limp? And then he came up with the thing that he actually puts glass in his shoes as like a self.
Which are they going to explain why is it supposed to be self punishment?
Yeah, it's
Well, I think so,
he-
yeah.
that's what he said. He says a lot of spiritual leaders, mired in their own, conscience and guilt, will do that. Will self harm.
Interesting.
but privately, of course.
Yeah, it's a great show, man. I'm so excited for episode 2, and I really
Zaggy.
like, man, what they've been doing with this.
Zaggy says, "Well, hello. No one says no to Disney
Yeah.
money."
There's that too.
It's true.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Ethan Hawke. This is the same guy that came out and was kind of bashing comic book movies,
Was he?
and now he was like the first one to do it.
Was he? I didn't remember that.
Yeah, which I've always liked. He did this movie called, is it called Predestination? Where he kind of time travels in it. It's a fucking awesome movie, dude. Ethan
I don't know,
Hawke's
but
awesome.
I liked the first episode. I thought it was intriguing. I could see where it could be a little
I'm ready for
confusing
the
if you
next
don't
one for
know
sure.
anyone about much about the character.
I think it's
Um,
meant to be confusing.
Yeah.
And I like I don't know. I wish we got to see a little bit more of him in the suit instead of just at the end where he's
I
beating
agree.
the hell out of that monster. But
Well, like in this episode, it was clearly meant to be mostly from the Steven personality's point of view.
Yeah.
And so it's like constantly, cutting things out. And then all of a sudden he's like covered in blood. And
which makes me wonder if they're going to do like each episode from a different personality's point of view.
they might. Yeah, they might.
Because I think
was
the Steven
surprised at how bloody
personality
it was.
is the Steven personality is not prominent in the comics. It's
Yeah.
Mark Spector.
Yeah, they
is
don't
usually
start.
the star
They
of
don't
the
start
show.
with that one.
Well, and
Yeah.
isn't Steven in the comics usually rich?
Yes.
That's what I was reading. He's like usually a rich guy, but this guy's kind of like
Yeah.
a day-to-day nobody, which is probably smart
Yeah.
because there's already the Batman comparisons. So rather than having one of his alter personalities being a super rich guy,
Batman comparisons are so ridiculous.
yeah, I don't get a lot of Batman vibes from this character, other than that he's got
I
a
get
cape and he
zero
beats
Batman
people to
vibes.
crap. Yeah,
That's also the Shadow. I don't know. That's the weirdest thing in comic book fandom right now is the whole Moon Knight is Batman comparison.
Well, he is essentially Marvel's version of Batman. He's a rich.
Come on.
But wouldn't you argue that Iron Man is Marvel's version of Batman?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
free to make that
but-
argument.
Well, I mean,
Remember,
you
Batman
make that on
is
the.
real, but Iron Man is not real.
Because this guy actually has like superpowers, right?
Yeah, it's a supernatural
Yeah.
character.
Yeah,
Nothing
more
to
like-
do.
yeah.
Other than the cape, and one cape is black, the other is white. There's no overlap.
Yeah, I didn't sense it, and I've been hearing that argument for years, and I just didn't feel it. I mean, the only thing is the fact that he's called Moon Knight and the other's called Dark Knight. Like there's minor things that may be the same, but Iron Man is their Batman.
Zaggy says, "What about
Hey.
Halo?" Then this week, the alien human girl gets naked with quite a nice big white butt.
Yeah, dude, I wasn't expecting. I thought the Paramount was going to keep that show pretty like.
I'm not watching that show.
I loved it.
episode.
I love that show. I'm
I
actually
might have
excited.
to watch it now after exposed ass. That's my checklist for sci-fi shows. Exposed ass, yes, I'm in.
I'm actually excited for episode 3. I really like this show.
I'm interested in where the story is going to go, but I'm not. There's a reason that, and you probably didn't read the texts, Lance, because at the beginning you said we were going to talk about Halo. There's a reason that in our text chain, when Matt said, "Are you talking about Halo tonight?" I said, "No, I don't want to talk about it. It's not that good."
Yeah.
I love it.
Were you going to make a point about Moon Knight ish before I cut you off?
No. Or if I was, I already forgot.
I do want to make one point. I thought it was awesome how it was all Steven's perspective, and then anytime there was a big action scene except for the end, they would cut out. So it left you guessing, and I love that about these Marvel shows that just constantly leave you guessing as to what's happening, and to do it right in the middle of the show, like to not show you things and be like, "Oh, dude, like, does he go into the suit? Like what happens in those moments?" Or it's, I don't know.
Yeah, which is weird because it is confusing that the Steven is the dominant personality because, like Ish was saying, in the comics, it's Mark Spector, and he is this big CIA guy, and he basically dies before he gets saved by that Egyptian god to where he gets the Moon Knight
that
powers.
could be
so-
episode 2, I guess, for all we know.
Yeah,
It's going to be like Boba
could still
Fett.
be.
Flashbacks, baby. Bacta tank.
Oh, no.
No,
It could
God.
still be
no
that Mark
Boba
is
Fett,
the
please.
It could still be that Mark is the dominant thing because, I mean, we know that Mark at some point asked out that girl to steak, or somebody asked out that girl because Steven doesn't remember it.
Steven missed days. Like, Mark took over for several days.
Yeah, and
how terrifying would that be, man? And I know that's like a real thing. Like, there are people that have that, multiple personality disorder, and that's got to be pretty terrifying sometimes.
Yeah, Mariah Carey.
I worked with a guy who had a weird, it wasn't narcolepsy, but he would fall asleep and then like sleep for 2 weeks.
Jesus.
What?
Because he went missing from work. He didn't come to work. And of course, management, they can't talk about other people's medical conditions. And when the guy came back, we were kind of buddies. And he told me, he was like, yeah, fuck, I slept for like 2.5 weeks. He's like, I have this weird medical condition.
It's called hibernation, bro.
Alopecia.
Bro, that sounds amazing.
It's called alopecia.
But dude, if you
that's wild. So like, imagine
how
that.
hungry and thirsty would you be?
Yeah.
I would wake up like freaking famished and like dry in the mouth. That is nuts. That's so
I
weird.
guess you got to like have an IV hooked up to you. I don't know what the hell, but
maybe he does. Yeah, because like you could die.
The dude was also Russian, so.
Oh, he made it up.
He was stocked up on potatoes.
He's a Russian bot.
Vodka.
Dude, I kind of want that for like just like once a year, just a 2-week hibernation, dude. Like that sounds like an awesome recharge.
See, and I'm a big fan of not sleeping. Like, I don't want to sleep. There's things I could do. So I would much rather 2 weeks of no work.
On my weekend, I don't want to sleep, but during the week, I want to sleep because I don't want.
That'd be nice if you could pause time and then just sleep all you can sleep. And
right?
Sure, that's true. Yes, because like I like getting a nice amount of sleep, but I also like not that I'm that productive in my life. I like watching TV and
you've been a guy that's like run off very little sleep like the entire time I've known you. Like you could stay up till 3 a.m. and then go to work at 6.
He's not.
No,
the one
I can't do that.
He's not the one sending TikToks at 3 a.m.
That's Lance. But then Lance sleeps until 2 in the afternoon. I don't know how he gets away with it. I'm up at 7 with my kids.
How do you have that many kids and sleep? How do you sleep past?
His wife is a saint. His wife is a saint.
God.
Yeah. No, my
so
kids,
back to Moon
it's
Knight.
nice because my kids can kind of take care. It's just the 2 little girls that really need the most supervision. My 3 older ones kind of take care of themselves.
Back to Moon Knight for Ish.
Yeah, enough about your kids. Come on. No,
you brought it up.
Do we know where this? I'm kidding. Do we know where this fits in the MCU timeline? And I asked this because there's a line of dialogue from the villain where he says, we could have stopped Hitler, we could have stopped Pol Pot. He doesn't mention Thanos. Does this happen pre
I was reading it takes place after Hawkeye.
Okay,
I saw that it was.
So why wouldn't he acknowledge the Thanos thing? That seems really
maybe they couldn't stop him.
I don't know. That's a good question because I don't really. Other than that, the line of dialogue, I don't really think there's much that establishes its place in the MCU.
Yeah, it doesn't whatsoever, and it's the lack of the mention of Thanos in those events, which are like that event was so big. People got to talk about it, especially this guy now, and and he talks about big villains in history, etc. Well, who would have been bigger than Thanos?
It might have been. Well, it might have been just because they're trying to keep the show more grounded or something,
or the fact that even knowing about Thanos, they couldn't have stopped him. I don't know. I need to watch it again because I don't remember that line at all.
I feel like as Marvel fans, we would have liked that, a little connection, a little mention of the snap.
I agree. I agree.
Then that slots the show into a specific chronology, and then we're happy and comfortable.
Leftover says Moon Knight doesn't really play well with others,
which is difficult when he's got lots of others within himself. So the direct reported here saying Disney Plus updated the Marvel Cinematic Universe timeline order following the recent Moon Knight to take place. The psychological order after Hawkeye. That's got to be a typo. Psychological is not a word you use. Yeah, chronological is probably what they meant. The chronological placement of Moon Knight makes it the most recent
trust the source? I don't trust.
I thought the direct was a trustworthy source, but
that's where I'm at. I don't.
Leftover said the Eternals could have helped. Yeah, You gotta
No, I see the
Eternals are
chronological
there, and they
placement of Moon Knight. I'm on the direct.
Well, just above that, it says the psychological order. To place the psychological. Here, I'm going to just share my screen. I'll show you guys exactly what I'm looking at.
Oh,
'cause this
to
is-
place the psychological order after Hawkeye. I don't know what they're talking about.
That's what I'm saying. It doesn't
Exactly.
make much sense.
Yeah. Who wrote that?
Here. Yeah. Who wrote that, and then who was the editor? Because see, look at this. Disney Plus.
You know what I noticed? A lot of these big websites,
Psychological order after Hawkeye.
I've noticed a lot of spelling errors. I was like, dude, how do you get big with this many spelling errors?
Nobody's reading printed stuff.
Dude, I made one spelling error on Couch Crunchers out of all the articles I wrote, and I got roasted in the comments of that article.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Which one?
That's awesome.
I think I was writing about Ninja Turtles or something like that.
That's funny. I probably made tons of spelling errors. I never got any of that.
Dude, I got attacked. It wasn't a spelling error. I used a wrong word that meant something that it didn't actually mean. Like I was trying to use, that's what it was. I used, so damsel, and then I used dame thinking that was the male version of damsel.
Oh, no, they're the same. They're synonyms.
I didn't know that. I got roasted.
That's
I got
an
roasted.
unforgivable error. You deserve
That's
that.
why I
You
quit
deserve
wright. I didn't want to write to begin with, and then I wrote that, and
That's
I
why I
attacked,
quit
and
the
was like,
English language entirely.
Yep.
It's okay. You're Italian and Argentine. You're good. Even though you were born here and English is your first language, we'll give you a pass.
Yeah,
Is it
but
Argentine or Argentinian?
there's lots of Argentine, Argentino, Argentine, or Argentinian. There's
I like
it's-
Argentino.
Yeah, I've
like
always
that.
said Argentine.
So,
Yeah, when I
Okay,
first
so-
became friends with Lance, he told me that Argentinian is incorrect, and so I've never.
okay.
I've never heard anybody in my family say Argentinian. We've always said Argentine or Argentino.
I like Argentino as well.
Yeah,
Okay.
I have a
There you go,
sign in
that's-
my garage that says parking for Argentinos only. So on that sign it says Argentinos.
Yeah, and you also think Pizza Hut had brick oven pizzas. So
Fuck you, dude.
There's that. And there's that.
all right, well I think that's a good place to end this WrestleMania this
Wait,
weekend.
Matt.
Again.
Yes, WrestleMania. I thought we were going to talk about it.
Okay, what do you want to talk about WrestleMania?
It's wrestling. Are you going to watch it? Are you excited?
I thought you were gonna have something like drop on me.
I thought we were going to talk about it. Okay, what do you want to say? Dead air, dude.
You tell me, Matt.
I thought we were gonna talk about it.
So it starts tomorrow morning with NXT Stand and Deliver, which I'm excited for because we're getting the Ciampa Dolph Ziggler match. I'm very looking forward to that. And then Saturday, tomorrow night, is part one of WrestleMania, which is going to be probably the whole Undertaker stuff. But then all the other matches, Sunday, they're saving the big one for Sunday, but all the other interesting ones are Saturday.
Well, I
So
heard
you kind of have to watch both nights.
I read that they did a lot of like shuffling of matches today last minute. So like the Seth Rollins
Oh, today.
Match.
Okay. So
the Seth Rollins match got moved
got
from
moved to
Sunday
Sunday?
to Saturday.
They're
So it was
doing
originally supposed to be-
WrestleMania
I
on
knew that.
Saturday night.
Yeah, so originally it was
The
supposed to be
same
from
time during Duke, North Carolina. What's wrong with them?
Yeah, so they were originally
during
supposed to do that
Weeks
match.
too, so I'm very torn.
They were supposed to do that match Saturday. Then it got moved to Sunday, and now it's being moved back to Saturday. And a lot of the Mr. McMahon's big secret guest was supposed to be Cody Rhodes, but now a lot of people are speculating that that's fallen through, and it's going to be Shane McMahon. So
Okay.
we'll see what goes on with that. But yeah,
Dude.
I know. What was it?
But Saturday is Bianca Belair and Becky Lynch,
yeah, I think
Ronda
Saturday-
Rousey and Charlotte Flair.
Charlotte Flair, yeah, Becky and Bianca. It's going to be the New Day
Versus the
versus Sheamus,
Usos.
and no, it's
Oh,
versus
Sheamus.
Sheamus and the other dude he's with now, and but yeah, it's tonight. And Logan Paul and the Miz versus the Mysterios.
Dude, why did
Yeah.
people keep giving that guy a platform? I wish Logan Paul would just disappear.
He's
Yeah,
not
to
as
be
much-
fair, he's a
not as much-
heel.
Dude, the
He's not
upload
bad.
joke. Have you guys watched Upload on Amazon.
Unfortunately.
Oh yeah, that was funny. That joke was
They
great.
made a Logan Paul joke that was absolutely hysterical.
But
Dude,
Sunday is Pat McAfee and Austin Theory, and
Yeah.
then Steve Austin and Kevin Owens. That's Sunday too.
tonight was I haven't watched SmackDown yet, but tonight was also the Hall of Fame. So
I just
A lot of
realized, dude,
wrestling this weekend.
oh yeah.
I'm super bummed. I'm really looking forward to that Duke North Carolina game, and I just realized I'm going to be at a concert at the same time.
That sucks. Go North Carolina.
Concert.
I'm rooting for Duke.
What concert are you going to?
Okay.
Huh? MXPX.
What concert?
MXPX. MXPX. It's a punk band. Dude, I just finished a show. It's only 4 episodes. That's it. DMZ on HBO Max. It's
Yeah,
fucking
it's based
awesome.
on a comic book.
Yeah. I didn't know that until like the second episode when the DC logo came up, because I didn't notice it in the first episode. I'm like, holy shit. But it is fucking awesome. Rosario Dawson. It's a great show. It's only 4 episodes. It's a limited series. It's done. It's
But
great.
Lots of wrestling this weekend for sure.
Yeah. Anything else? You guys got anything else?
Max, when are you going to start watching Star Trek Discovery?
I already did.
Did you?
Well, you did?
Yeah, I already did. I've only watched the first episode so far, but yeah, I started it this week.
Okay, so you can't say.
Oh, so you started it. You watched the first episode. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were like, you
I
watched
already
it.
did
That's
made it
started
seem like
isn't it?
I
was
already
like,
did made
whoa.
it seem like you finished it.
No, he said, "When are you going to start watching it?" I already started. I did.
Okay.
I'm about-
All right.
I'm halfway through the second episode. I'm struggling to get through it, not because it's bad, but because there's a lot of Klingon, and so I was trying to watch it like while I was working and like less busy moments.
Yeah, you
But
have to.
I
you
have to
stand
watch
read,
the screen.
yeah.
I have to be able to actually pay attention, and so
That was my
Well, I
issue when
look
I watched
forward
Parasite.
to in the future that we can actually talk about it a little.
yeah, sure.
I want to start Picard.
Yeah, that
that's
started.
Picard.
What did I watch recently? I think I watched. I can't remember. I watched something on Paramount Plus. I think it was Sonic. I was rewatching Sonic, and then after that ended, no, it was Halo. After the second episode of Halo, Picard just started playing, and I was like, okay, no, I'm trying to watch Discovery. I can't watch you right now. So I turned that off because I was like, no, I can't do it. Not yet.
Anything else you're watching there, Lance?
Lance looks very comfortable.
All you freaks and geeks.
Come all you freaks and geeks. Let's listen to Absolute Geek.
Absolute geek.
We'll go ahead and spread our cheeks
Spread the cheese.
and drink
And
some
over for
Cosby wine.
We'll
Come on,
drink
you
some
absolute
Cosby wine. It makes me feel real fine.